All right, my PC crashed the other day. I hit go live and all my stream settings are messed up. Oh, I think we are actually live. Excellent. Welcome back everybody to the Serenial podcast. This is episode 21 where we are going to chat about the Nintendo Direct that just dropped.
The other day. I hit go live.
As usual, I am Mega Harv. I'm still Mega Harv, and with me is Enigma. How you doing, Enigma?
Hey man, how's it going? Glad to be back again.
Yeah.
Another day, another podcast.
Yes, sir. Was worried I wasn't going to be able to even go live because, like I said, I had some technical difficulties. So my computer decided I was editing a video and it crashed and I couldn't boot back up again. And eventually I realized I could factory reset my computer and back up all my files, and most of it was saved, but some of it is not quite as I left it. And I hit go live and it didn't go live. So, but we're live, so I'm happy about that.
Computer problems are freaking worse.
I mean,
that's all I know.
Never ends. It wouldn't be a Serenial podcast without a little bit of technical difficulties. Michael Lulucario, how you doing?
Yeah, for real.
Jumping right into the N64 online for the Nintendo Direct, which I powered through that right before the stream and made notes of pretty well every game that was announced. So, do you have any opening thoughts about stuff you're particularly excited about for the Direct, Enigma?
When it comes to that, man, it announced like a decent amount of games. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would be like a quick thing where it's like, oh, 2 or 3, games, spin off here or whatever.
Right.
But wow, I watched it and I was like, okay. The highlight of that for me, at least, was freaking, oh man, Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with. People have been waiting for Bayonetta 3 for, I don't know, part 2 came out 2014.
A while ago. It was on the Wii U, wasn't it? Must have been 2014.
It's been years.
Good Lord, that's 7 years. Time flies.
Yeah. Bayonetta 1 was, let me check. Bayonetta 1 was Bayonetta 1 was 2009. Bayonetta 2 was 2014.
Good God.
I mean, that's a 5-year gap, fine, but this is like, and it won't be out till next year, so that's going to be about an 8-year gap between 2 and 3. That's pushing it.
But I mean, if they're quality, then
I mean, I'm sure to be good. I played part 2 actually more recently. Maybe I didn't get around to playing part 2 till maybe earlier this year, or was it? No, last year. I believe it was last year. I played it when it came to the Switch, and it's pretty good.
I still got to play them. They look good. I like the style. When the first one came out, gaming wasn't my priority, and the second one came out, I didn't have a Wii U, and then I just got lost in the shuffle.
I was disappointed that I played part 1 on the PS3, and actually, the funny thing is, my history of Bayonetta, it serves a good memory for me, because I got my PS3 a little bit later into the console generation, because I was focused on the 360. And Bayonetta 1 was basically the last game I think I played on my PS3 before I upgraded to the PS4. Wow. Like, it was the very last game I played. I remember I was like, as soon as I beat Bayonetta 3, I'm going to go buy a PS4 and jump to that. And as soon as I finished it, I was like, I headed right out to the store. I was like, all right, time to go to GameStop, buy me PS4. And I wound up returning Bayonetta 1, actually, because I was like still within that week return policy thing or whatever it was. So I was like, oh, let me return this game too while I'm at it. And then I just jumped straight into the PS4 for the next like however long that was, like 7 years or whatever, like 6 years. Yeah, until last year. The next 6 years it was PS4 all day. Freaking I missed it. Besides that, honestly, the standout or the highlight was Metroid Dread, but since that's not new, they really just kind of just tossed it in again.
Not new, yeah.
They talked about it, what was that, 2 or 3 months ago? They did the Direct where they announced it initially. Now they just kind of went and had a new trailer, like with more like information, maybe, and like directed us to the website so we could read more. But it's out. What is it? About 2 weeks from now, it'll be out. or somewhere around
It's
there.
October sometime, isn't it? I didn't actually.
said
I didn't write
October
down
8th.
the release date.
October 8th. So that's 2 weeks from
that's
today.
so soon.
Yeah, man. 2 weeks from today, Metroid Dread to be out. That is definitely the other highlight for me. Besides that, honestly, it wasn't too much. Oh, Agent of Chaos, welcome. Like he said, new Monster Hunter expansion and Kirby. I'm looking forward
Kirby
to
game looks
Kirby.
sweet.
I haven't played a Kirby game, like a new Kirby game, in years, honestly, since I was like, no, not a kid. Several years. I'll leave it at that. It's been some freaking time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
For
how much I like Kirby, Kirby's Air Ride, I think, was the last new one I played, believe it or not.
Yeah, and that was the racing game, right? I think I played that. That was for like the GameCube, right?
Yep.
Or I think I played that one, but it's been a long time since I played like a new Kirby game. The DS, the 3DS rather. I think that's the last time I played one.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Chris Pratt playing Mario in the new Super Mario movie?
It's an interesting cast they have.
That is, I don't recognize the person they have playing Peach at all. I had to like Google her because I was like,
maybe if I hear her, I'd be like, oh, her. But
yeah, maybe I might recognize the voice, but I didn't recognize the name. No, Chris Pratt, Mario. Yeah. I'm just like, if it works, I don't know. I mean, is it? I forgot. Is it live action or is it animated?
I think it's animated, which would be better, way better.
It's an animated film, right? Or is it a series? I forgot.
I think it's an animated film.
All right, if it's an animated film, I might like it. Chris Pratt. I'm trying to think about everything he's been in. Besides
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Besides all the Marvel movies, I only know him really from the Marvel movies.
Yeah,
honestly.
Same.
Jack Black is 1 and 2, and then the 2 Avenger movies. Jack Black as Bowser. I was trying to picture it in my head how Jack Black as Bowser would sound, and I'm like, I could see it. It depends on where they're going with it. If they're gonna make it something that's kind of on the more comedic side of things, then I think that might fit a little bit more.
Right. If he's like kind of bumbling.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where they're gonna take it, like a comedic sign of a more lighthearted pass. If they're taking it like that, then I think that'll be pretty cool. Keegan, I forgot his full name, but the guy from Key and Peele.
Oh yeah, Key.
Voicing Toad.
Yeah.
Keegan Michael Peele, right? I said. I think his name is.
I'm sorry. It's one of the Key and Peele guys, and I was like, what? Okay. Not what I expected, but sure.
Yeah.
I think
Keegan
they're
Michael Peele.
Or they're
he's gonna be voicing Toad. I'm like,
threw me right off.
Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like when they're adding Jack Black and they're adding Keegan Michael Peele and they're adding Chris Pratt, who kind of had like a comedic sense in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm thinking that's why they're gonna take it. You know what I mean? And Seth Rogen was voicing Donkey. Yes, Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong. I'm like,
that's casting if I've ever heard it.
This might be kind of funny. I think I'd be interested in watching it. They said next year holiday season, December. They said United States gets December 21st, 2022, I believe.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, cool. Right before Christmas, people that might be for a family. I feel like they're going to take a more family oriented, kind of comedic, lighthearted approach and release it around the holiday season.
For sure.
If they're going to do that stuff, it might do pretty good. I mean, remember back in the 90s, wasn't it 93, 94, somewhere around there? They had the movie, the live action movie. That was
I forget when.
Weirdest thing I've ever watched. Like,
that
as a kid, I was just like, what is this? What the hell?
Someone was on
not the Mario I know.
I'll say that much.
It was freaking weird. Yeah, seriously, it was freaking crazy. I think they just wanted to cash in back then because Mario became like
for sure
one of the biggest video game franchises in the world, even in early 90s. Or mid 90s. I forgot exactly
after
when
Atari
the movie came out, but
tanked. Nintendo came back.
Yeah, they were like,
revitalized the industry.
Man. Oh, there it is. 1993 is when it was released. Wow, the first feature-length live-action film to be based on a video game. And
is that so?
I mean, I give it credit for it being the first.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 93. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, how big was video gaming, like home video gaming? You know what I mean?
I think I just misinterpreted.
Like that's around the time of just the Super Nintendo.
I think I just thought the Mario Brothers movie came out earlier than that because I know they also had like Street Fighter the movie, Double Dragon, a few others that escape me at the moment that just weren't good. Well, Mortal
I know it was the
Kombat
early
was
90s
like
for sure.
the first video game movie that people liked, I think. Like unironically.
The first Mortal Kombat, I think people, yeah, the first one, video games based, like live action film adaptations of video games. When have they ever really been good, though? To be honest, I mean, I can't even name many. Mario, Mortal Kombat.
Well, they got to be a little more strategic with the choosing of it. Like, if they were to do
not live action.
Sorry,
I don't remember.
Which series?
I'm trying to think of how many Spider, Mortal Kombat, Lara Croft, Resident Evil, so on and so forth, House of the Dead, Resident Evil again, like 7 times. I don't know how many
so many
they have now.
There's like another one that
Silent Hill.
Oh yeah,
those make sense.
Yeah,
those make sense. I mean, but others, it's just
otherwise it should just be a cartoon movie. Like, why is that a bad thing?
Exactly, it should be animated.
Yeah,
Resident Evil made sense. Tomb Raider made sense.
Yeah,
it's more Silent Hill stuff like that is more. I feel like manageable.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Even though they still don't really do great as far as like most 90% of them. I feel like just tank as far as like
they're just cash grabs. Like most of them,
Rotten
like
Tomato,
there's no passion in
Critic.
the most, and a good number of them.
Yeah, I mean, what was the highest rated one? Highest rated one is probably like what freaking.
That's a good question.
Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu was one of them.
I heard that was actually really
people
good.
really liked. People really liked that one, from what I've heard. I didn't watch it myself, but I heard that one they liked. Sonic the Hedgehog got some pretty decent reviews.
After everyone made older fun
ones,
of it.
especially the initial drawing or whatever of him, they just like killed it. But a lot of these other ones, they kind of tanked, to be honest. Like, especially the earlier ones from like the 90s or the early 2000s.
Word got out that they were garbage. It didn't really.
Yeah.
Didn't really
even the new Mortal Kombat did better as far as compared to the older ones,
Well, I mean, at least like the first Mortal Kombat had like people like that one. So now that it's been a while, and no one really liked the second one, but now that like some time's gone by, people would be nostalgic for another Mortal Kombat movie. I can follow that.
No, yeah, it's been a long time since the second one, like 20 years or something like that. Almost, I feel like 15, 20. Yeah, long freaking time. But no, what else was announced on that Nintendo Direct? There was Metroid Dread. Oh, the Nintendo Online thing. That was interesting with the whole Sega Genesis and whatnot.
I was surprised.
I don't even have Nintendo Switch Online, to be honest. I've never used it, so I don't even know all the benefits and features that it already has. But if they're adding more to it, I'm not mad at that. Maybe it'll be more reason for me to actually get it.
Yeah. I'm curious how much it's going to cost, though, because they said it's like an expansion. So, like, how much more is that going to be is my concern. But like,
if they raise the price,
yeah, like I don't know what it'll be on top. Like I have the Switch Online, like I haven't used it in forever, but I just it's not that much, so I just leave it. And then if I do want to play it, like I'm probably gonna actually turn it on the next couple of days to record some videos. But like they have NES, Super Nintendo, the 64 is a good addition. I was surprised to hear that they're adding Genesis games. I'm not mad about it or anything. I thought it was an odd choice, but they got a few good Genesis games to kick it off, so we'll see how that turns out.
Oh no, definitely. Honestly,
I'd like to see some Saturn games if they didn't lose the source code for all of them.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when after Nintendo 64, I was like, oh, great. But then they jumped to like Sega Genesis games too. And I was just like, wait, where did that come from? I guess they made a licensing deal of sorts with Sega, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I figured maybe they would have done like what other console, from Nintendo? Like
I've thought people are talking like Game Boy
maybe
stuff.
GameCube, maybe,
Or even GameCube.
Just to jump to a whole different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Game Boy Advance, GameCube,
if
Game
they
Boy
did
Color,
like some
or something like that.
Game Boy stuff, I wouldn't be mad about it. As long as it wasn't like shovelware crap that
Yeah,
they feel like putting on there.
I don't know, definitely. Yeah, if they want to do that, they have to add some of the like best games on there, like they're really classic stuff, like for the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Maybe like Pokemon. Even though because that fits more with the fact that they still make new Switch games for Pokemon Switch games, and Pokemon was always a handheld to begin with.
Right.
So it just makes sense, I feel like, to add Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, the original Game Boy,
right.
Games to be playable on the Switch to continue that level of, mobility and having it be handheld to begin with. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if they want to do Sega Genesis, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, they might actually they have Phantasy Star 4 is a launch for that. If you haven't played Phantasy Star 4, it's fantastic. For 1994, like RPG, it was like if I played that when it was brand new, it probably would have blew my mind. But I played it like the past year, and I really enjoyed it. It's worth a play.
Wait, which game did you say?
Phantasy Star 4.
Okay, I never. Is that different? Wait, Phantasy Star. That name rings a bell.
Phantasy Star Online, you probably have heard of.
Okay, then yes. Yes, I heard of Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah.
So it is the same series?
Yeah,
okay, I never played any of them, but I heard like some of them were pretty good.
I would, if you're gonna bother playing any of the like 1, 2, 3, or play 4. And if you still have to, like, if you're still craving Phantasy Star, then maybe dabble with the other ones. But like 4 is the must play. 1 I liked for like, because it's a standard hard as nails 80s RPG, but it's not Final Fantasy and it's not Dragon Quest. It's its own thing. But it's good if you're looking for that type of game. Was not thrilled with 2. I didn't play it for very long. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I beat 3. It's just, you need to have a walkthrough in your lap, or else you're not going to beat it. It's okay.
3. Yeah, I mean, back then, those JRPGs especially were like, where do I go? What do I do? How do I beat this boss? This enemy's killing me. What the hell how do I do this quest? Like, it's just like a lot more challenging, I feel like. I mean, like, those ones are before my freaking time, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've heard of like some other newer ones for like, I forgot what is it, the GameCube or something like that, and other consoles. But I never played any of them myself though, so I don't know anything about the series, to be honest. I know it is another long-running JRPG series that's not. It doesn't have as much like popularity or whatnot as far as like compared to like of course like the classics like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest.
Well,
and
they kind of span off into the online series and left the old one behind. It came out on the Dreamcast originally, and that was like the big selling point. It was more like MMO style, like it was 3D rather than like 2D sprite work stuff, and you could play it with other people. I never did, but I watched my brother play it by himself a bit, and it was clearly designed to play with other people because the bosses had like so much health.
It was the first online RPG for game consoles. Players can venture with 3 other people over internet, blah blah. Wow. Okay, that's cool. I did not know that. I did not know that Phantasy Star Online was the first JRPG, basically, that's online. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like the very first one. I knew it was a pretty early adopter because Dreamcast was my first online video game experience. So I'm not surprised to hear that Phantasy Star Online was the first JRPG online.
I didn't know if it was the first. Because since I never played it, I didn't know if it was just like they were just using that title just to be like, oh yeah, let's just toss online in there. But you know what I mean?
No, it was legit.
It makes sense now since it was the first. It makes sense now to toss that in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was basically breaking or pioneering into a
because they
had new venture.
They had to make that distinction because.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Nowadays you don't even have to. Nowadays, you don't even have to toss like online in there because like every game is already online. That's just expectation.
Like Phantasy Star, not online. You would have to specify.
Yeah, it's like this one is actually single player.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star single player mode.
I would actually be thrilled if they made Phantasy Star like 5.
They never they have continued the series, right? Besides the online games, like
it stopped
have they
at
just
4.
like stopped or no?
Stopped at 4.
Really?
Which is
Because I
too
saw
bad,
another
'cause
name,
4
but
was
I mean,
so
I'm
good.
guessing it was like a remake or remaster.
I'm sorry?
I saw some other games that they released like since then, but I guess they were remasters or remakes or something like that, not original new titles.
Yeah, they re-released Phantasy Star 1 at least on Switch. I don't know about the rest of them. I want to play that actually. I was going to play it, but got sidetracked. Hey, Kodo.
I saw one that said like Phantasy Star like Generation. I guess that's like a remake or something then.
That's probably the first one remade,
remastered.
if I were to guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. If this series started in like, you said the late 80s it started, right?
Yeah.
Like, then I'm not surprised. What, on the Sega Saturn or I don't know.
Master System, believe it or not.
Oh, geez, that's even further back. Even.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When I first played that, I had the Sega called Phantasy Star 1. You had to unlock it. You had to play another game and get to like a certain point to unlock it. Like not even an RPG.
Also.
I had to look it up to figure out how to play it. But it's like, if you're looking for that kind of old school RPG, like Phantasy Star, will
that seems freaking. You couldn't just go into the store and buy it. You had to actually like go play a whole other game entirely. What?
You didn't have to like beat another game, but you had to like get to like level. I forget now, but you had to either just. I want to look it up. I forget. It was either. Let me just look it up. How did I do this? But it was something like you had to get to like level 2 in this other game, and then it's like, here's Phantasy Star 1 for Master System. Because the Genesis collection, so they hid away Master System games, and that was just one of them. But when I bought it, it said it had Phantasy Star 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's why I'm like, I don't care about any of these other games. I just want the Phantasy Star games. What was it called? Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. I should just go to Game FAQs. That'd be...
Yeah. Were you saying this was a part of a collection, or was this like a standalone game?
Yeah, excuse me. It was a collection that I bought for Xbox 360.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Genesis.
I was like, they couldn't have just initially released a game like that at first. I mean, that'd be crazy.
Oh, would it ever? Cheats. Unlockable games, Phantasy Star. Sonic 2, defeat the... Oh my god. Defeat the first boss with 2 players.
Okay.
Which is even worse, because I promise you I did it by myself. But
that's so random. Like, what is with this arbitrary, like, requirement to unlock certain things?
Yeah. Like, some of them make sense, because it's like Golden Axe Warrior is one of the games, but you have to play Golden Axe 3 and use magic 10 times. It's like, okay, that sounds like, if you're going to play Golden Axe anyway, like, that makes sense. And like Shinobi Arcade, it's like, play Shinobi 3, beat the first level without using continues. Okay, that makes sense. So why isn't Phantasy Star, like, do something in any of the Phantasy Star games? Why play Sonic 2 and beat the first boss with 2 people? I want to play a single-player RPG. Why do I need another person? I didn't. I did it by myself. But,
I don't understand what that has to do with, like... Yeah, that's confusing as hell. Like, that's just one of those arbitrary things. Like, just do this to get this when they're not even connected. Like,
that's even worse than I remember, like, thinking back. I'm trying to remember, like, if I even had 2 controllers at the... No, I must have. Now I'm wondering if I, like, had a Guitar Hero controller hooked up and an Xbox controller, or if I just had 2 Xbox controllers. I forget now. I just remember I did it myself, somehow.
That is quite freaking random. Like,
but yeah, honestly. That was, yeah.
But no, I mean, what else was announced?
Oh, I got this whole list in front of me. I'll gloss over anything that was already announced, but like the first thing I have up here that wasn't announced yet was a game called Voice of Cards. It's like a card-based RPG, and when I say card-based, everything's cards. Like the world map is cards, the towns are cards, the battles are cards. And I was kind of interested in it, and I was listening to the music, and I'm like, this sounds like Nier. But I'm not. I'm probably gonna pass on it. But then at the end, it's like, oh, Yoko Taro was involved, and now I'm the guy that made Nier, and I'm like, now I'm way more interested in it. I'm probably going to try to pick it up at some point. I'm not going to, like, rush out to get it, but I'm definitely going to have my eye on it.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, hell, if he had something to do with the game itself, then...
Yeah. I don't know if you have any, like, opinions on it one way or the other, but...
I think I saw it for a brief second. I was listening to it, and I was just like... A card? Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what the hell...
Yeah.
I was like, this is confusing. I'll have to look into it more.
Yeah, I'm not generally thrilled with... Like, I don't play a lot of, like, card-based battlers anyway. Like, I've never played Bait and Kados. That's kind of like the big one that stands out in my mind. What ones have I played? Like, Chain of Memories, I guess, technically a card fighter, but it's more action-y.
Yeah, you got to pick cards and select the right one to do this combination and whatnot. So that kind of counts, but it's not a full-on straight up like card game, you know, like the card game for like the Game Boy Color.
Okay.
That is one of the best. That's one of my favorite like Game Boy Color games ever. I freaking love that game. Like, freaking Pokemon fanatic back then, so you didn't have to do much except give me a Pokemon game. I played Pokemon Snap, freaking Pokemon Stadium, freaking any freaking iteration of Pokemon back then. I was like, I'll play it. Screw it, let's go. I had Pokemon cards, like physical cards. Like I was like, but I mean that's what most kids were. So you know, I wasn't like out of the ordinary when it comes to that.
Right. Like the next one I have up here, I'm gonna lump these two together because they remind me of each other. The next one up was a game called Disco Elysium. It does not appeal to me at all. It reminds
name rings a bell.
This I was borderline upset because this is what I put in my notes. I was like, looks like Shadowrun, not interested. And then later on in the direct, they announce a Run Trilogy. And I'm like, get away from me, Shadowrun.
I've never played Shadowrun.
I don't like them.
What is it bad?
It's not that they're
what
bad.
Kind of game is it?
It's like
I've heard a name, but I don't really know much about it.
It's like an isometric. How do I even put it? Like it's an RPG, but it's like top down. I think some of them, the battles are kind of more like strategy oriented. I have the one on the Super Nintendo, and I just was not a fan. There's just something about it. I don't like it. The look of it, I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it feels. It's not for me. Some people love them. I'm not one of those people. And if you're anyone who's looking forward to them, then you have yourselves a party, but don't invite me. But Disco Elysium just reeks of that Shadowrun stench, and I want nothing to do with it.
Hey man, I feel you. Freaking, there was a few games in there I was just kind of like, I'm really not intrigued by this, but I feel like there's gonna be like a lot of people that are, and that leads me into one of the ones I do remember was announced. It was well, it wasn't a new game. I don't know.
Yes, there's two new courses and
they're still making Mario sports games. Still.
I mean, I would play Mario Golf. I just can't justify paying $80 for it. I'd rather play the N64 Mario Golf.
I haven't. I feel like I might have played a Mario Golf game. I feel like as a kid, I played like every iteration of like Mario in some way also, you know, like just because like Party, Super Mario, Mario Brothers, freaking everything. But I just can't see myself sitting down and playing the Olympics one or golf or kart like anymore, you know.
Well, I would. They're more like to play with people more so than by yourself. I feel. And for whatever reason, there was a Mario Golf game on the Game Boy that was like I've never played it, but I guess it's like pretty much an RPG.
Like Mario Golf?
Yes.
That's so freaking random.
Yeah, like I just heard about it. I've never hunted by it.
Mario. I don't know what they haven't done with him.
No idea. But like, I have nothing against Mario. Like, I was even thinking about picking up Mario Golf when it first came out, but now I'm like,
he's just
find an old one, whatever. Why pay new game prices for this one?
Mario was a slave to Nintendo. They work him like a dog.
Oh yeah.
They've put him in everything you could think of.
Big
You
time.
know, see, I imagine him like, Mario, what are you going to do today? He's like, well,
Mamma mia.
I'm going to golf. Like, you better. And then you're going to play soccer.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, what the hell?
Then you're going to work at
do
a
the
hotel.
Olympics. Like, I don't even know how to. It's like, what the hell? Wait, a Mario Hotel game? They had that too?
Hotel Mario was on the Philips CEI.
The hell is?
Yeah, you never heard of that?
I mean, speaking of cash grabs,
yeah.
Geez, I Hotel Mario.
I forget the whole deal with that, but like, they were originally like partnering with Sony to make like an add-on for the Super Nintendo, but like, I think behind Sony's back, Nintendo made a deal with Philips for like this other stuff. So Sony's like, well, screw you, and they just went and made the PlayStation. It's like, good job, Nintendo. You made your biggest competition. Idiots.
That's crazy. I just don't even understand how Mario can do everything. He's one of the most talented people I've ever like had the pleasure of like playing a game of.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do everything.
Yeah.
Like freaking Barbie. Like, yeah, they have her in every job. Super athlete. Not only is he a plumber, but I mean, he plays soccer, golf, and like Olympic Games.
Yeah, competes against Sonic the Hedgehog and 100-meter dash. Gotta have your work cut out for you.
You can race as fast as being on Earth. Like,
yeah,
this guy is basically freaking Superman. And I guess that's why he's their freaking he's their number one earner.
Yeah.
I feel like next, Nintendo's gonna go A-rated with it, and they're gonna make like a Mario like adult game where he.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
He's gonna be a XXX star.
Please, just for the lulz. Have other like Nintendo
gonna make an
cameos, people joining in.
Man,
like I mean, I would think that Peach would be at the end.
Crazy.
So like, is it gonna be like Goopa Troopas, Goombas
for Mario? He has to seduce Princess Peach. Oh man, that's crazy. I mean, they already have like such phallic. They already have all this imagery with like the toads. They look like mushrooms, and mushrooms.
That would be the perfect time to make Bowsette canon.
Oh man, oh dude, that's crazy. Hey, if they want to get into that market, that's the only market they haven't touched. No pun intended. I mean, like, come on, they've done everything else they can think of. Pretty nuts.
I mean, it'd be worth a Google.
Oh no, I'm sure. I mean, there's people out there already creating random stuff like that, so Nintendo might as well just cash in too, right?
Why not? I mean, they make M-rated games every so often. Just make an AO one. Whatever. You sell stuff digitally. Who cares? It won't be in stores. Whatever.
PC only. Yeah. For the super hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was another. Oh yeah, they talked more about a game you're looking forward to. Speaking of Mario.
Yeah.
They announced some more details about it.
Hell yeah.
Super Mario Superstar. I don't know what it's called. Super Mario Party. I don't know. The titles are so confusing.
Well, it's like Super Mario Party Superstars, I guess. I don't know.
Super Mario Party Superstars.
So like
super.
I can't wait to play it
and everything.
And like I don't know if it was announced before, but they announced that Horrorland for Mario Party 2 is gonna be in it, and I'm like, that was my favorite board in Mario Party 2, and I love Mario Party 2. So I was that was probably what I was most excited about the whole direct. I cannot wait to play that game.
Oh yeah.
And like I was already talking to like one of the old buddies I used to play it with. He popped into my chat and he's like, I don't know if you've heard about this game, but you're playing it. I'm like, buddy, I'm all over that. And he's like, so I'm gonna have to get a Switch code and we're gonna have to play that again. The hard part's gonna be getting like the third person in on it because they don't have a Switch. But like, if I can have another like Horrorland 50-turn Mario Party 2 game with those two fellas, that would tickle me trousers. I can't wait for that online play.
Speaking of Mario Party 2 and the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 Mario Parties rather, Mario Party 3 was on my list of like top 10 Nintendo 64 games of all time. You got to check it out. Freaking 2 and 3 were very comparable, to be honest, in my opinion. So I don't feel like there was too much of a difference between them.
Yeah,
they both probably
mechanically
could have been there, one or the other, but no, definitely. Yeah, because that was the big jump from 1 to 2 is they introduced items and so on and so forth, I believe, and a whole bunch of other stuff that was just like, quality of life improvements and new mini games. But
makes me wonder.
Mario Party is it's a classic franchise.
Oh, they have 10 numbered ones, I think. Surely they're going to release some of them on the 64 thing.
Numbered, they go up to 9, I think, and then they started. I think it was 9, okay. And I think they started changing it to Super Mario Party Super. I don't even know what the naming is with Mario anymore. It's just too many.
Yeah.
They usually just have Mario's name in it, Super thrown in there. Yeah. RPG maybe, and a paper, everything. Yeah. Mario versus Sonic. I think they're running out of titles.
I want them to release Paper Mario. I would love to play that again.
On the Switch Online?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about N64 games that I don't currently have that I would love to play on that system. Would love to play Paper Mario again.
Oh, no, definitely. I just can't see myself, paying for, freaking the N64 games again, unless they're, remasters or remakes, they have some improvements to them. I'm just that's my childhood, cool, but...
Sure, but after a certain point, it's
and whatnot,
Yeah.
It depends on how much they charge. I mean, unfortunately, with Nintendo's infamous. They don't like sales. I don't think that word is in their vocabulary too much, really.
Those sales. That's on a boat, right?
The hell is that? So a discount. I count my money. This money.
I count my money like this.
You know what I mean? I count this money. It's no sales, no. But yeah, I mean, it'd have to be a really just amazing game. I just couldn't imagine living without playing again. You know what I mean? I can't even think of one at the moment. Ocarina of Time. That's it.
But I mean, they've remade that. They already have the Master's Quest, and
they added they ported Ocarina of Time. I think is maybe not the most, but I think it's the most ported Nintendo game. I can't think of one that's been ported more or remastered or remade more. What else do they bring to every single console they've made? It's you know what? You want it on the GameCube? Sure. You want it on the Switch? Sure. You want it on the 64? Sure. You want it on the Game Boy? No, 3DS? Mm-hmm. We got that too. I'm I mean, it's freaking amazing, but
yeah.
I'm just this is crazy, guys. I mean, I'm glad they do it because they have to game till every generation, every freaking age group.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play this game. It's they're admitting, we just can't really top it in the Zelda series, so we kind of have to just keep bringing it back.
Would you agree with that sentiment?
It's back by popular demand.
The best Zelda game?
Oh, definitely. It's hell yeah. I can never picture another game in Zelda series, at least the ones that have been released, topping it.
Right.
At least for me,
I have what I always call the Zelda curse. I barely played any of them. I love to watch them. I barely play them. I have to play. I was saying I was going to play Ocarina of Time this year, but was kind of thinking out logistics of it. But now that it's going to be out on the Switch Online, I have zero excuse not to play it. So it's about time. Get that.
Agent of Chaos says, did you guys know they're also making a movie for Borderlands and Metal Gear Solid? They already have a cast for those.
I heard about Borderlands.
I did not. Metal Gear Solid.
I'm surprised it took this long to make a Metal Gear Solid.
We were just talking about that, but
movie. Kojima's so cinematic anyway.
I'm kind of surprised too. I mean, they are done with the series, right? I mean, I haven't played after like 3, even though I do like the series. I just never got around to playing all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of ended 5 where they're kind of done with it, as far as I know. You know, so
yeah,
it's about time.
Yeah,
it's about time. You know, I mean, I gotta see if it's gonna be based off like the very first Metal Gear Solid. That that really made like cinematic. That made cinematic games a freaking thing.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean,
big time.
Like that brought voice acting to in video gaming to where it's like it's no longer like
it's like what do you
bad,
mean games can have good voice
terrible,
acting?
You know, like ironic, like laughable. It really brought it's like, no, we freaking mean business. Like, this is serious.
It's legit good acting, voice acting.
Exactly. I mean, which isn't easy, especially when this is a relatively new thing. Like, wait, you mean to voice video game characters? What? Huh? I don't freaking know how to do
what
that.
competition did they
have?
What I mean? Resident Evil, Mega Man 8.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that was the voice acting we were accustomed to. Then you give us like this fully,
and then
competent.
Yeah. Fully voice acted and everything like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just text boxes or like a line or two.
Right.
Yeah. And it's for the mid to late 90s. That's not bad at all, considering that was Metal Gear Solid, I believe, released like 24 years ago. Was it 97 or 98? I don't remember.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, let me check Metal Gear Solid.
I want to say
Metal Gear Solid 1 is 98. 98, it says. I was freaking I was like just starting like freaking school. I was a young lad. But I can never forget freaking playing Metal Gear Solid like a freaking 7-year-old. I was like, this game is great. this game is freaking amazing. Back then, I was like,
back then, like to play Metal Gear Solid, it wasn't my cup of tea. Like I didn't mind watching people play it, but it's been about 4 years ago now. But I did wind up playing it on my channel, and I'm like, okay, I'm old enough to appreciate these now, and I should play more of them. I have 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just keep putting it off. One of these days, I'll play another Metal Gear Solid. I swear.
I need to play like all of them. I mean, I played enough, but I need to play every single other Metal Gear Solid game.
Hey, Vile.
Because I think I beat 2, but I never beat 3, never played 4. So I definitely know I'm quite behind.
Yeah,
I love Metal Gear Solid, but can't get around to playing all the games. So I have to watch videos about the story because it's so freaking overly complicated and convoluted and freaking a mess. I'm like, geez, man. They also made I feel like they also made convoluted storylines that progress over a series of like 8 games, like a thing, like where it's one continuous story there, and it takes place like the story for Metal Gear Solid starts in like the freaking 50s, right, and goes all the way to like 2000 and something. It's
those
like
were even
long history.
Excuse me. Those were even connected on like the MSX games that came out, like Metal Gear 1 and
the
second one.
The original Metal Gear. Yeah, they were like PC or something, right? I believe, or something.
Whatever the MSX is, we didn't get.
I never played them. I never played those either, but those were the ones before it was on like 3D and all that stuff. I think they were the isometric top-down kind of ones.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Solid brought that series back to light and just made it freaking hell. What game was really making a long, drawn-out story before Metal Gear Solid?
Like encompassing multiple games?
Yeah, because Final Fantasy was a long series, Dragon Quest, you know what I mean?
If Soul Reaver
they were
was
separate
out,
games, you know what I mean?
If Soul Reaver was out yet, I don't even think it was. Like Blood Omen would have been. Like those are all connected, but
Soul Reaver 1 was, I believe, 98
probably
or 99. I don't remember.
I know it also came out on the Dreamcast, so probably 99. So that wouldn't even count yet. But Blood Omen might have been out before, but it wasn't like a series.
Well, no, yeah. Blood Omen was out. That was the first one. I don't remember what that was. That might have been 96. I'm
probably
actually going to check.
It was different. It was like top down.
I
tried to stream it one time, but long story short, I couldn't. It didn't work. Yeah, 98. Metal Gear Solid, Xenogears.
Legacy of
Yeah,
Kain.
Xenogears is great.
96.
Oh, that's Resident Evil 2 also. Yeah, 96. Okay. Blood Omen. I should try to play that again.
Yeah, I knew it. 96. Yeah.
That whole series,
Legacy
I
of Kain
need to
Soul
actually
Reaver, I think
play
it was
it.
98.
That also has great voice acting.
I played the first hell, speaking of Soul Reader, hell, we got completely off topic now, huh? But speaking of Soul Reaver, I played the first one, and since I was so young when I played it, honestly, I liked it, but it kind of scared me as a kid, so I never got far in it at all.
I could see why.
It was kind of this. It was, it was all the vampires and freaking like dark and kind of like. I was like,
not really for young
I was
eyes.
like, I don't know. Yeah, it was a little too thing for me, but I can imagine I would like to play it now, but it would be hard since I never really gave it a full playthrough or anything, or even got past like the first boss. Playing it now, I feel like I wouldn't be able to fully immerse myself in it because of the just the difference in the graphics. You know what I mean?
If somehow you could play the Dreamcast version, that might be your happy medium. Might be on PC. I don't know. If it is,
what's the Dreamcast version?
Might be decent.
Part 1 was on the Dreamcast, like Legacy of Kain, because I know. I mean, Soul Reaver had like
Soul Reaver, not Blood Omen.
I know there was a Soul Reaver 2 as well. Like, because they had 5 games. There was Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, Legacy of Kain 2,
Blood Omen,
and
2.
then
on GameCube,
and Blood Omen 2 too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another,
and Defiance.
I forgot what it's called. Yes, Defiance. That's it. Yeah, I think they had 5 games in the series. I haven't played any of them like that. I mean, hell, I didn't even know who Kain was, really. I didn't know, the whole series was about him, because I thought... I didn't know Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver wasn't the first game in the series. I thought it was, a whole brand new series.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And then I find out it's, the second game or something. All right, well, let's see.
Yeah, Vile might be right with Blood Omen actually being the first game to have good voice acting. In 96.
Really? I didn't know Blood Omen did, well, because I never played it, I guess. I know Soul Reaver is pretty cool. But no, I mean, the PlayStation, I guess in general, but hell, back to the topic at hand, freaking what else was good on there that really struck your interest? I'm trying to think.
I'm really interested in the Castlevania collection, although I'm probably just going to get it on PS4, because I think it's going to be on PS4 because trophies. It's the advanced Castlevania games, like all the Lament of Innocence and all those other esoteric titles that I can't remember the name of, but seeing as I like Symphony of the Night, I'm sure I'd like all the Game Boy Advance Castlevanias. It's 4 of them, I guess.
The Game Boy there was 4 in Game Boy Advance? I thought there was only 2 on the Game Boy Advance, 3. I played one of the ones on the Game Boy Advance myself.
I might have misunderstood. I never played any of them. But I gotta...
Well, that's a good
question. It's out now. I think it came out today. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
That's a good question. I'm gonna find out. Jeez, there's so many freaking Castlevania games. That's
easily 12.
Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon is on the Game Boy Advance. Harmony of Dissonance is on the Game Boy Advance.
And Lament of Innocence.
Aria of Sorrow is on the Game Boy Advance. And it says those 3 were on the Game Boy Advance.
How long ago did the Contra collection come out? Yeah. Didn't that Vile just brought it up? That's
Contra collection.
I think that came out a while ago, and I just immediately forgot about it. Somehow.
I haven't the slightest idea. I mean, I've played one Contra game, but I've never even really played that series. To be honest, like that.
The Contra 3 is classic. It's tough.
It was recent. It might have been last year, perhaps.
Yeah, I want to say it came out semi-recently, the Contra collection. The Castlevania Advance collection came out today.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And
I'm looking forward to
But
I'm looking forward to that Kirby game. Did they have a release date for that, by the way?
I want to say it was 2022.
Yeah, that's when I noticed when I was listening to it and whatnot. I feel like almost every freaking game said something like 2022. And I was just so nothing for the rest of this year? or besides Metroid Dread.
Right, a handful of things.
Besides that, I feel like everything else was next year, and I'm like, well, you have holiday season.
Yeah, it was like either out this month or next year. It seemed like.
Yeah, Yeah. But Metroid Dread, of course, I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, I figured they would have something else, or more specific of a timeline rather than just 2022, and that was it.
Right. And what else? I'm just kind of looking through that. That Kirby game I'm definitely interested in. That was like a swerve for me because I was like watching this YouTube channel that like focuses on RPGs. And then I saw like a 3D Kirby and I nearly crapped my pants for a second. Like thinking, oh my god, a Kirby RPG, give me that. But it wasn't. Like it still looks good. But now I want a Kirby RPG with like Blue Mage mechanics. Nintendo, give me that.
Oh man. Seriously, like Kirby, that'd be freaking crazy. I wonder how they would do it. They turned damn near everything RPGs.
And it's not even like that much of a stretch because there's a battle in Kirby Superstar that's like based on RPG battle. So it's like, come on, Nintendo.
Oh man,
give me that.
Freaking hell! What was this game? There was one other game that I felt was interesting. It wasn't Splatoon 3, even though I'm sure people all over are like.
When they had Project Triangle
crazy
again.
Oh yeah, they announced
March.
March, yeah.
March 4th.
Cool.
I actually wrote it down. March 4th, yeah, 2022. And they said that from the feedback they got from the demo, they tweaked a bunch of stuff too, so that's pretty cool.
The funny thing is, I downloaded the demo for that game like freaking 2 months ago or something like that. It's been a while ago. Wait, no, longer than that. I downloaded the demo for that game months ago, and I still haven't freaking played it. I keep forgetting to, and now they're already. They said they like put out a new demo, right? Or because I remember them talking about like on the feedback and
I don't know if there's a new demo or not, or if they updated the demo.
Because that's what they did for Bravely Default 2. They put out a demo for it, and then they got feedback. Then they put out a second demo, I believe, and then a few months later they put out the game. And I was just like, all right, they took feedback from the people and. I'm glad that they did a few changes because they initially said the game was like too freaking hard and this and that. And,
yeah.
That's all right. They changed up some things.
Yeah.
But
it'll make it more accessible.
I'm glad when they do that. With a game having a demo and this whole, it's different. Back like in the late 90s when I used to get demos for the PlayStation, I used to get demos of PlayStation Magazine back in like 98, 99, I think 2000, something like that. And they would give you a disc. Like, I don't know if you ever had it, but they send you a disc with a magazine. And then it has like, oh, this is a demo. This demo is playable. This demo is playable. And then they have trailers for like other upcoming games. And that's kind of like how I knew about games that were coming out soon is from playing those demos and seeing like those trailers and whatnot pretty much as a kid. Because it's so different now. Like 20 years later, it's just like.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist now.
Now it's just like, now it's online. You could download the demo in like 10 minutes, and now you can just like give us direct feedback like on Twitter and on our website, and we can tweak it and put out another demo. And it's just like, who would have freaking thought, man? Who would have thought? Like, I wouldn't have thought about that stuff when I was like freaking like 8.
No,
like, this is cool. It was just to get you hyped over the game.
If you told me this was something I'd live to see, it'd be like, are we gonna have flying cars too? What do you mean?
I know, right? I thought flying cars would be more likely. That's what people talked about when I was growing up. Now it's just like, yo, go download the demo. Okay, give me feedback on it. All right, we're going to put the people back to work like for 20 hours, like a freaking day. And we're going to get that fixed for you. Yeah. It's like, freaking crunch and all that.
Yeah.
But, it's really impressive, honestly. I don't like all the paid DLC that comes along with,
you got to take the chunky with the smooth. But...
interconnectivity of the internet. Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad, but that's definitely a good part is being able to get live viewer feedback. It does play out sometimes where it's kind of, I feel like some things people complain about a little bit too much, especially in gaming. It's just kind of like, did you really need to, make it way too easy because people said it was too hard? but
Right.
maybe they just need to practice more. It's like it's a really thin line when it comes to some of these changes, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't please everyone no matter what, really.
I
But
can't generally be upset if they're like, here's new difficulty settings. It's like more people can play it or whatever, but like if you're just gonna dull an experience down for everybody, but then you still get like the Souls type of games where they're like, no, you're just gonna die and deal with it. If you don't like it, play something else. So it's just kind of your mileage may vary.
Those games are kind of like, well, that's kind of what they're made for, I guess you could say. Is to
Torture
like
yourself,
is for specifically that audience, you know?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it. I don't have that level of I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Be frustrating. Hating yourself.
I don't
that
even
level
have
of
it.
self-hate.
It's too much.
Yeah, that Castlevania collection. I don't think they even announced it. I'm pretty sure some of the stuff in the Direct wasn't even announced. They're just like, but it's available today. Which I'm happy about because I've been complaining recently about like these big companies never just drop games on us as a surprise. And now this Direct, there was like 3-4 games that just came out today. Because that ActRaiser remaster, I think.
Really? Which ones were released?
Well, the Castlevania collection came out.
Really?
ActRaiser, the ActRaiser remaster was dropped. I don't think that was announced. That looks interesting. Like I knew about ActRaiser before, but now there's like a brand new one. So, or it's not new; it's remastered. But
I don't think I've even never heard of ActRaiser. Like honestly,
ActRaiser, it's like half side-scrolling RPG type of thing, but also like town building simulator. And depending on how you build your town, it makes your guy stronger. I haven't played it a ton, but it's always been a really interesting idea. The second one, I guess, wasn't as good. I think they took out the town building aspect entirely. And they like Deltarune Chapter 2 just came out, but in
what
the Direct.
system was it for again?
Super Nintendo. Came out in, this is the old one, 93, maybe? I want to say older than that, but I'm going to say 93.
Okay. Triangle Strategy, I'm glad they're making changes on that. That, Metroid, and Kirby. There was one more game that I was personally interested in, I believe.
Well, you mentioned Bayonetta.
Bayonetta 3, how could I forget? Those games right there were the ones that those ones are the ones that I would personally get, that I probably, like rush or relatively to go out and get. They announced like an update for like Animal Crossing or like some DLC or something like that too. I remember hearing
Animal Crossing and Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yeah, and they announced like some kind of update or of DLC for Hyrule Warriors too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like even the DLC gets an announcement. Oh, speaking of DLC and announcements,
there's 2 actually.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
They announced that they made an announcement that they were going to be announcing the new character, right?
Yes, they announced that on October 5th they're going to be announcing the final character for Smash Ultimate, which just makes me wonder who the hell. Because like the way I'm thinking about it is, if it's not like a big deal, why would they they would have just dropped it in the Direct? But if they're making it like it's its own special thing, who the hell could be that big of a deal that they're saving it for a special announcement that isn't already in Smash Brothers? Like, unless it's like a Master Chief or like someone you would never in a million years expect to be in Smash. Or just like some Nintendo character that hasn't been in it for some reason this whole time.
Imagine Nintendo. Guys, we're putting Master Chief. 117, what was he? 117 or 117, right? This is like,
I don't know.
Code name, whatever.
I have no idea.
I think it is. I can't believe I forgot as many years I spent playing freaking Halo.
Yeah. Or like a Kratos or like someone like a
John 117
exclusive elsewhere.
Oh man. They're probably going to add in like another variant of like Toad.
Yeah.
Like we got the yellow Toad now.
Right.
It's like No, but announcements are like the freaking funniest thing to me when it comes to like video gaming, especially.
We're gonna.
Then like, you really had to tell us during the showcase that you're going to announce something separately, like in 2 weeks. Like,
it's like what, you haven't decided it yet? Like, why can't you just announce it now?
I know, like they're like, it's like, oh, we need something else to throw into this showcase, guys. Like, just something just to pad the runtime and for more hype generation. All right, announce that next month we're going to announce something that's going to be released like next year. It's like, I know we have like short attention spans, people say and whatnot, especially the younger generation, but I'm like, come on. You think, like, if we're really interested, you really think that we're going to forget, like, Nintendo? You think we're going to forget Smash Brothers? I'm not that big of a fan of it anymore, but if I was, why would I forget? You know? Yeah. It's like, oh no. I guess it's how they stay competitive with like their rivals, Microsoft and Sony. Like, we gotta constantly keep announcing this stuff that we're about to announce, more stuff that's going to be announced later on. It's going to release in a year, but then get delayed for 6 months and then get delayed one more time. Yeah. And then it's going to be released 3 years later. It's like, all right, all this
your calendars, 2023.
Back and delayed and announced. And then it gets delayed again anyway. And then it's buggy and glitched. Right. Even if it gets delayed. So then it's just like,
but since you can patch games after the release now, it's, they're just going to do that rather than make the game properly to begin with, like they had to used to.
I feel like Nintendo has been good on that, though. Honestly, like, I mean, as far as I know, there hasn't been a lot of like
that glitchy
controversy with their games about like, oh, it's super glitched and bugged. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm glad. But I mean, my problem with them is really just, damn, like, if you used to put stuff on sale and drop prices. Did you know that they recently, like, I read it was like last week maybe. I read an article that said that they dropped the price rather of the Nintendo Switch in, I think, Canada and the EU or something like that. And I was just like, but they said they won't drop the price in the United States though. I was just like, what?
Canada wins for once.
Like, every year Nintendo announces, it's like every year they announce that, no, we're not going to drop the price of the Switch. Not again. No, we're not doing it. We're just reminding you. I read an article just a year or two ago where they were like, no, we have no plans of dropping the price on the Switch. No, we're not going to put it on sale. No, it's going to stay what it is. It's doing pretty good. Nah. I'm like, did you really need to announce that? You're basically being like, F you guys. We know you're going to pay for it. Like, they're cocky as hell. Like, it's like, drop the price. What?
Yeah.
No, why would we do that? That's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Who does that? Oh, that's Sony and Microsoft. We don't do that. We're Nintendo.
We're not those.
We have standards.
We're not those.
I remember something along the lines of like, no, we want to keep the standards of our hardware. I was just like, damn, you're confident.
Yeah.
It's like we don't do such things as discounts. That's for peasants. Oh man.
We only want the elite players.
Is Waluigi really not in Smash yet? I'm like surprised. Like,
it's kind of a meme that he's going to be the last character, but we'll see if he is.
They put him in like everything else at this point, haven't they? Like, the hell?
Waluigi's only really in like the sports games and stuff. I don't think he's ever been in like a regular Mario game.
He's been in Mario Party, right?
Yes.
I feel like they haven't put him in Smash yet. I think they put him in like a lot of the other ones, just not Smash. I don't really know.
The other
why.
like multiplayer ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why they haven't had a Wario game that has Waluigi in it. Like, it's, unless they have, and I just been out of touch. But
he's a trophy summon? Okay, so he's technically like in it, I guess.
Have they ever had a Smash character that was a trophy summon that became an actual playable character? Like in the same game, I mean?
I don't think they would do that. I guess it kind of defeats the purpose of trophy summons. I never really played. Is trophy summons only in Ultimate, or is that in previous ones too? I forgot.
I don't remember either.
I think it's a.
I want to say it's.
I know it wasn't in the first two because I played those extensively.
Yes.
but
Like there was
I don't know.
trophies in 2, but they were just for show.
I think trophy summons. I played the first. Well, I played Brawl. I don't remember if it was in Brawl. And
I'm trying to remember if they had anything like that in the 4th one. I should know, but I don't remember. I want to say no.
I played the 4th one. That was the one that released on Wii U and the 3DS, right?
That's right. I had the 3DS one. I actually played that one a lot.
I had a 3DS one, but I returned it like freaking the next day because I was just like, I don't want to play Smash on like freaking 3DS. Actually, like it's kind of not as fun. I feel like
I didn't have a Wii U, so it was like this is the only way I'm gonna get to play it.
I really played Brawl. I played the first 3 because I didn't have like a Wii, but my friend had a Wii, so whenever I go to his house,
Brawl.
Play it. Really? So I haven't really played Smash like that since Brawl. I have Ultimate or whatever, but
I haven't. I barely touched it. Me too. I've been saying that a lot lately, even that like, yeah, barely touched it. Bought it like 2 years ago. Played it for maybe an hour. Didn't have a problem with it. I should give it an honest to goodness go, and I'd probably enjoy myself. But just
it's really a series for playing with people. And as a kid, I had a lot more people to play with, I feel like, than I do now. So, there's just kind of that part of it as well.
Yeah.
And, not having as much time to play as back then either, I guess.
Right.
But, and also, I'm just not, I mean, I consider it a fighting game. I'm not really into fighting games like I used to be when I was a kid. I was a little bit more intrigued or interested in them once again because I'd half the time be playing with friends, and that gave it a competitive element. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Playing myself against the NPC, I'm just like, well, I'm gonna keep freaking taking them down over and over again.
I'm just gonna abuse the AI and do the same move repeatedly and win.
I'm just gonna ragdoll them a little bit, and then I'm kind of like, well, what else can I do?
Yeah.
But hell, there was another game they announced. I don't know I forgot if it was a remake or didn't they announce freaking Star Wars?
Yes, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, they announced that. Didn't they say something like it's getting a cloud version or something?
I missed that. If they did,
that's what I've heard. I definitely heard them saying cloud version, and I'm just like, so what the hell does that mean exactly? Do I have to be like online to play it or something? I don't know.
I guess so.
Because I know Switch said something that they have cloud games, and I still don't exactly know what the hell that means, honestly. Yeah. Like all my games for the Switch, I bought like physical copies of pretty much. So
it's a classic from what I gather. I should play it.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of. But this was in the PS5 showcase that we spoke on like earlier this month. They announced
some of these games are not just on Nintendo; they're just kind of.
Yeah, the third party things like Star Wars is pretty much like everywhere, but the other game, it was like a re-release or a remaster or something. It was Dying Light 2.
Oh, that's a brand new one. I thought
they said that was getting like a cloud version or something. I think.
Oh, they're getting Dying Light Platinum Edition,
but
is remake. I think. I don't know actually. Vile would know.
Yeah. Yes, basically something. I just remember them mentioning Dying Light. I never played the series at all.
I have the first one.
Did the second one come out yet, or is the second one not out yet?
I don't believe it's out yet. I didn't write down any details.
Okay, so that's like an upcoming game. I thought
they did also announce
I've never
the
played
first
it,
one,
from what I remember.
But the Platinum Edition. Whatever that means.
That might have been the cloud game they were talking about. Maybe. Yeah, if I remember, is Dying Light that like first person one that's kind of like some kind of horror game or something?
It's like a zombie survival.
Because I remember there's a reason I didn't play it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, I probably wasn't interested because it looked like it was freaking terrifying. And I was just like, oh, I'll probably pass. I can't get into. I tried the one for the PSP, or was it PSP? Yeah, like 10 years ago or something.
Okay.
And then I tried the one for the PS4, and I was just like, still like, I'm not really that interested. I just can't force myself to play it. I feel like, But they announced DLC for that or something like that, and coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, freaking hell. First thing they announced, I'm sure people were like freaking ecstatic just off rip because I know that I'm like a freaking outlier when it comes to Monster Hunter and just me not really being interested in it.
Yeah. Same.
Everybody's like, what? I'm like, not really.
I'm sure if I
especially since I like JRPGs.
I mean, you did play
them a lot. But I am a fan of JRPGs, but that's one of the few series that I tried and just didn't really get into.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't like them all.
oh no, definitely.
Actually,
It's probably just having to collect all this stuff from like dinosaurs and craft a whole bunch of random items and stuff. I was like,
and isn't it only like a boss fight? Like, isn't there like no regular enemies? Like, it's just boss fights.
it's not only boss fights. You can fight.
Okay.
Like all the enemies are pretty big, I'd say, but they're not like boss. They're not all boss fights though.
Okay. That was the impression I was under.
It's a lot of it's a lot of like literally hunting monsters to get materials. So you can make different like weapons and stuff like that to hunt more monsters, and you can make like I think like different armor and like all that stuff basically. But it sticks true to its title. You freaking hunt monsters all day, and a lot of them are like freaking dinosaurs and dragons and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I can understand like the appeal to it.
Just an aside, I stumbled across a random video though showing that like one of the skins for a mount is Rush from Mega Man. In Monster Hunter. It's like a new one that they're releasing. It's like, it's right.
Scary thing about the new remake of Knights of the Old Republic, they hired a female SJW that wrote a bad article about how females were being mistreated in GTA 5.
Actually heard
that
about
she
that.
felt like she was getting in the game she'll work on the story writing, so lost interest in it. I did hear something about that. Like someone showed me like a tweet or something like that, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know. I never played Grand Theft Auto 5, not really interested in it, and never played Knights of the Old Republic, if I remember correctly. So I just know that people love both those games, and talking bad about them is not like even highly like it's seen as like freaking crazy. Like you know what I mean? Like from a video game perspective. I mean, hey, a lot of I mean, not every character is going to be written well, and that's just I feel like that's just kind of a part of writing characters, you know? You can't like to be I mean, to be honest, all this stuff is subjective. You know what I mean? A well-written character to you might be poorly written to me because we come from two completely different backgrounds, two different cultures, two different ethnicities, two different nationalities. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then when you add in like, you know, all that other stuff, then it gets just, you know, it's too convoluted.
I just find
personally when it comes to stuff like that. I find it odd that you know she's writing on the game now.
Like if she doesn't like the game, why is she even want to work on it? Just find something
I feel like
else to work on.
I feel like it's one of those like it's kind of funny almost. Like people say, like this is something I've heard even quite often. Like, you know, if you don't like the way I do it, then do it yourself. You know, even my girlfriend says this to me all the time, and I'm just like, that doesn't work for everything, though. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I'll go terraform my own planet. I'll be right back. I don't like our planet.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those times where it was taken literally. Like, I did not like the writing of this character, so I'm literally going to start becoming part of the like writing staff. It's just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know you could actually do that. You know what I mean? It's like when people say you can be whatever you want, and then like someone literally becomes like freaking everything. Yeah. All right, but I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't. I just feel like you shouldn't even involve yourself because this is something that's an entertainment medium. You know what I mean? Like I don't fancy country music at all, but I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start making country music because I feel like it's not for me or I didn't like the way it was made. It's music. It's subjective to the listener, just like games
for you
to the player.
Yeah.
You know, if this is a more serious situation where you feel like it was like politics where, you know, I feel like we're underclassed and I need to like, you know, make a change from the inside, so to speak, because this is affecting people in my country like on an extremely negative path. And it's like, I feel like that's fighting a good fight. But when it's a freaking video game, I honestly don't take it that seriously. I don't feel like.
Right.
I would just feel like there's more important things to work on when people make a big deal out of video games, movies, to that extent. Yeah. You know, and also, why would you want to work in that atmosphere, or not work in that atmosphere, but work on a game where you feel like that happened?
Yeah.
I guess you could say. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really get it. Yeah, I do have Dying Light. It's in the pile. I actually saw it the other day. I'm like, oh, there's Dying Light. I thought I had it. And like, this is completely off topic, but just Vile saying woke reminded me. There's actually, like, in the WWE right now, they had a woke wrestler who's like taking a jab at like woke culture. It actually seems kind of funny the way that they're handling it. He talks about how the ring's a safe space, and then like he'll get beat up, but then like try to hug his opponent and
wow,
just trying to make things right. There's a big hullabaloo about that, I guess. It's like that's wrestling. It makes fun of everything. It always has.
I feel like that's what we need more of is freaking humor when it comes to these situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's like if you can't, you should be able to, like within reason, joke about anything. Like if it's, if you do it correctly. Like the way they handled it just seemed funny to me. Like it didn't, like as a caricature. Like it's not meant to be taken seriously.
The way I feel about that stuff is you literally cannot avoid offending somebody. That's not humanly possible because that's like I can't even. How would you? That's not even logical. You know what I mean? But
I forget what his name was. It was like an actual name, like it was a human's name. It wasn't like he was just like kind of a regular like chubby dude, but he has like a real baby face to him. Big smiles. I'm curious to see what they'll do with it.
I just got that rush skin in Monster Hunter a few minutes ago.
There you go.
Oh wow, you're freaking playing Monster Hunter like right now. And I don't know. It's nice of the Old Republic being woke. I mean,
we'll just have to see how.
I wish they would just. I know it's like freaking almost ironic at this part. I feel like it's used almost as a freaking meme to say something is like woke now.
It's a buzzword Twitter, now for sure.
I don't know. It's like there's certain times when you could definitely tell people are pandering in a certain extent. But I mean, hell, speaking of which, God of War, like when we talked about the PS5 showcase back then, like since then people have been online very upset because of that one character. I don't know if you remember from the God of War.
Why was that a problem? I remember there being an issue.
That was at the end.
Yeah, why was that a problem?
I don't know her name, but because she was a character of color. She was like brown skinned kind of, and they were like, why is there a brown skinned girl in God of War? They're all like Norse mythology. And I'm just like, this is all mythology. It's literally mythology. Why does it matter? Like this is all tales that people made up. I'm like, is her skin tone really that big a deal? I mean,
now if they
have like
Kratos,
giant monsters and titans.
Yeah, like if they decide to color Kratos for some reason, I'd be like, what are you doing? This makes zero sense. But if you're introducing a brand new character, who cares?
I mean, like, yeah. Well, I mean, even Kratos, they changed him a lot from 3 to the God of War PS4 or whatever they call it.
Well, I mean, he's pretty grizzled now.
His appearance is all different. He got a beard, facial hair.
Yeah, I suppose.
He looks, but it's just like it's made up. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's not like they took
it's not real. Yeah. Also, suspend your disbelief.
Exactly. Like, please, if you're gonna play a video game, if you're gonna watch a freaking movie, especially a sci-fi movie or something like mythological, like if it's not a historical documentary of sorts, use suspension of belief. You have to do that. If you start trying to apply logic to everything and you start trying to apply accuracy to everything, you're going to constantly be disappointed and you're going to miss out on enjoying things. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, why would you be? I don't know. Like, people were offended by like freaking Spider-Man Miles Morales. They're like, what? Spider-Man? He's not a black Puerto Rican kid. What? I'm like,
it's a different guy.
Whole different character. This is a whole different character. Who cares? He just has the same like similar abilities. Like, it's still a freaking great game.
I was more annoyed when Aunt May was like looked like a 40-year-old. when like Marissa Tomei played as her. I'm like, why is Aunt May young and hot? I don't understand. I always picture like a like a granny when it's on. Like that offended me more.
I mean, she was just hot, but
it's like, I mean,
wasn't she?
whatever.
Yeah, like in the movies, wasn't she always like depicted as like someone in their like maybe 50s or
pretty
60s,
elderly,
or older?
Yeah. I guess young is like, pushing it, but she was like 40s. Kind of, however old Marissa Tomei is, I don't know. But I've never wanted to bang out Aunt May before, so
I feel like, it's just odd to me. Sometimes that's another thing. Besides, like, that's another thing people have a problem with sometimes. Is like when they make characters like younger or older. You know what I mean? Like, remember for the remake, or I mean not the remake, remaster of Spider-Man, there was this whole thing of like, oh, the news they changed the depiction of Spider-Man. He looks like his Marvel universe like self more so, right? Like they changed the character model, I believe. And people were
an official version of him
for the oh crap, they changed him. He looks a little bit like more like his Marvel self instead of like the like. Okay, so they basically say he looks a little bit younger now. I'm like, well, Spider-Man always wasn't he like bitten and stuff when he was like a freaking junior in high school or something, like or sophomore?
The 90s cartoon, I think he was like in college, but like I don't.
No, I mean when it initially like started, because he was Spider-Man for like 6-7 years or something, I think at this point. But they said in the PS4 game he'd been Spider-Man already like 5 years now, like or something, I think, or it's been like a few years. This wasn't him like brand new. I remember that much, But he originally got bitten. I think he was in high school. Even in the movies, he was in high school. He was like a freaking junior or so.
The more recent movies, he was like in high school, like for sure. Super.
Yeah, I mean, they make these slight changes to the character's appearance or to the character's whatever, but isn't it more important that the freaking game or the movie is actually good?
Like, yeah, if it's good.
I feel like people get too caught up.
I don't really care what you
people get too caught up. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're getting caught up in what the character looks like sometimes more so than. I feel like everybody wants their character like represent them. Oh, the character was too overweight. The character was too skinny. The character was too dark. The character was too light. It's like, are they ever just right? Are you ever just pleased? Because like I said before, you
unless
can't
you have
please everybody.
Like a Simpsons looking character, you're out of luck. Like it's just.
And even then there's the people that are going to be like, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
There's no yellow characters. That's crazy. It's
if they're jaundiced.
Man, if you give them an accent, then if you give them an accent, then it's So the character has to be yellow. That means they have jaundice. Like, oh no, we just can't win.
No.
There's always going to be a problem. That's why I feel like it's really hard to be a content creator, honestly, of any sort.
Yeah.
Even doing
to be for everybody, so just can't let that bother you. Separate unit.
Well, with the ease of access or the wide access and whatnot to the internet, everyone can voice their opinion now. As long as you have an internet connection, you got Wi-Fi, you got a modem, a router.
For better or worse.
You're good to go. It's helped in some regards, but I feel like it's been
like mixed bag for sure.
A very mixed bag. There's peanuts, cashews, walnuts. There's everything you could think of in that bag when it comes to the internet. Yeah, there's like a freaking insect in there too, just scaring people. Some wild stuff on there. But hell, we keep getting off topic. Let's wrap up the freaking Nintendo Direct, because I feel like there's something we were missing.
Yeah, what had we touched on? We didn't really talk about the Chocobo racing game, I don't think, the new one coming out. Which I'm halfway interested in that. Just because I like Chocobo racing growing up. So like seeing a new version of that's appealing to me. I'm not gonna pay full price for it, but if I can get
like
cheap.
Chocobos, but I feel like racing games have never really been my thing. Except for like stuff like Mario Kart, Sonic was cool. Diddy Kong Racing was cool. But
Diddy Kong Racing was good.
Hell,
I gotta play that again.
Chocobo Racing Hell yeah. Good old N64, man.
Oh yeah, that's
But
another one
Diddy,
I'd love to. I have a Diddy Kong Racing T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah, I forget where I got it.
Holy crap! They make T-shirts for everything. I've never seen one before.
I've never seen any. I've never seen one before. I think I just got it at a thrift shop. I'm like, how is this a thing? And I got it, and I still wear it. Whenever I eventually stream that game, I gotta
pretty cool.
See this Diddy Kong Racing shirt I have. Don't ask me where I got it.
I know, right?
But yeah.
Hey, you gotta brand and market everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a T-shirt. There's a T-shirt for everything. I'm gonna make a T-shirt that just says like my name on it. Just hey, all right, here you go.
Oh,
guys.
you can get T-shirts custom made, like not a problem these days. Plenty of sites will do that.
Oh man, it's great.
What else did we touch on? They mentioned a Disney Magical World game. I couldn't care any less about that.
Yeah, they did. That just completely went in my mind and then left out the other side. Honestly, They said this is like a sequel or like a report or remaster. I was like, where was the first one? I don't know. I don't even know what this. I don't know. Is it a rhythm game?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
As soon as I saw Disney, and I'm like, okay, Disney, not Kingdom Hearts, completely zoned out. I paid enough attention to write the name down, and then just stop really thinking about it. I think we pretty well touched on the rest of them.
Oh wow!
Like we did.
Andrew Boda is depicted in. Continue. What did you say?
Oh, like we kind of briefly touched on the new Splatoon game. I've never played Splatoon. I have no horse in that race, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited about it.
I've played the first one back, like when we actually had a Wii U. That was freaking years ago. It was okay. I played it for a little while, and I was like,
looks fine.
All right, this is basically. I was like, this is basically like freaking what was it? Like using paint. I mean, this is basically like freaking the reverse Super Mario Sunshine. Instead of cleaning up paint, you're like freaking painting everywhere.
Yeah, making
it cool. You know what I mean? It's like a water gun fight, basically. All right, that's cool. You know, I'm sure it especially appeals to the crowd.
I mean, there's definitely a market gap in like kid-friendly shooters.
Exactly. So, like I played it like with my niece actually. You know, she had some fun playing it. So
because I think that came out before Fortnite was even a thing. So.
First one. Fortnite is still a thing. I'm reminded and disappointed.
I'm sorry, I had to bring up the painful memory.
No. Fortnite's been out about 5 years now.
It's a while now, yeah.
6? Was it?
Probably. I want to say 5.
I'm going to check because it seems like it's been too long. It's still a thing.
It seems like I'm sure it's still massively popular, but like the hype has died down pretty good. I don't hear anyone talk about it anymore, but it's like I know people still play it, which is fine by me.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
I knew it 2017. I figured it was 2017 or 16.
Yeah, okay.
2017. So no, Splatoon 1 came out like for the freaking Wii U, so that was like 2012 or something.
So yeah, they were all over that market gap.
Part 2 was like 20. No, couldn't it be 20?
That's
Switch, not 20. Damn, I freaking jumped way too far back. Splatoon 1 was 2015.
Oh, okay.
Splatoon 1 is 2015. Splatoon 2 is 2017.
Okay.
2 didn't sell well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they only had a 2-year gap apparently between 1 and 2. So
yeah. And then another thing
reason for it.
That's like it's technically not new, but it is new. Like how Deltarune Chapter 2 came out like last week, and it's already going to be on the Switch. Like, I think it's on the Switch now. So like,
okay.
I mean, anyone that's played Chapter 1, play Chapter 2. I loved Chapter 2. I had so much fun with it. I hate having to wait years between parts. I'm under the impression they're going to release the next 3 chapters all in one go. I'm just hoping it'll be like next year instead of having to wait 2 years or whatever, but they'll come out when they come out.
I never played the first one, honestly. Like
you didn't play Undertale.
I just heard about the game when I just heard about this game when they announced like Chapter 2 and everybody was talking about it. I was like, there was a Chapter 1. All right, that's
Right.
I
3 years ago,
I
it was
was like, cool.
2018 that came out. I think.
Oh, geez.
It's a while ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been a while then. It's been a while.
And like I was
But
pretty,
yeah,
you know,
freaking hell.
that was fun. And then I think I like Chapter 2 even better. But like I found out more stuff about Chapter 2. I'm so invested right now, and it drives me nuts that I'm not gonna get to play any more of it for like probably at least a year, if not 2 more years. It's gonna drive me crazy.
So when it comes to that game, how does it go? Like, since it's in chapters, is it like, what's the pricing of it, and like how
It's
long
free.
is it and whatnot? So really?
Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Cool.
I think when it's
Okay.
all released, there's gonna be a price for it, but right now it's free. They're each chapter, like I played through each of them in one sitting, but it was like for the first one it was a 6-hour sitting. The second one it was an 8-hour sitting. So they're long sittings, but in one sitting, I did like pretty much everything.
Oh wow. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. I like that.
So they're bite sized. By the
Freaking
time you
hell.
get through the whole game, it'll be like probably normal RPG length. But so far, I love what I see so far.
All right, I see. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to have a popular like a following as like an indie title, like, you know, one of those ones that's just like, I don't know, people really like it.
It does,
You know what I mean?
and you don't really need to play Undertale. Like, it has a lot of the same characters, so you'll see someone and be like, "Oh, it's that person." But like, if you were to just jump into Deltarune Chapter 1, you wouldn't really lose out on anything.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's not like a direct sequel; it's like a spiritual successor of sorts or something like that. Or
I have a
kind of like
I have a gut feeling by the end of it, there's going to be some kind of connection, but right now, there's none. And
really,
yeah. But no, I haven't done the genocide playthrough Vile. Not yet.
are they developed by the same people?
Yeah, it's basically just one guy.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know.
Like
that
he has one guy
cool.
he helps him with like art, and like a handful of other people, but it's basically a one-man show.
That's pretty cool. Whenever I hear about those things, like basically it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys or whatever that made the like whole game, I'm always just like, that's pretty dang impressive, to be honest. Like, especially if the game comes out like winds up being really good and like you know, like successful. I'm like that's freaking great. Honestly, it is, because
they're like
sometimes huge companies like freaking 1,000 employees can't seem to nail like this.
Right, well, too many cooks in the kitchen is an issue.
Oh, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, and all the politics that come along with having like a freaking huge company, and you know, having to handle like, you know, release dates and shareholders and freaking investors, and they're like, well, can you get it out here because we need to make our money back? Like all that crap. You know, it's just me and you making a game. It's like it's much easier for two people to handle one another and like come to an agreement or a conclusion when it comes to like making something as vast as like playing like a freaking 50-hour game or something, you know.
And they're really replayable. Like they're very densely packed games. Like if you just like, generally speaking, if you think of something like unusual and try to do it in the game, like the creator will generally have considered that, so you'll get like a little extra bit of like flavor text here or there. Like they're really dense like that. You're like, well, what if I do this? And then you're like, oh, this thing's here because I thought to do this. Like they reward you for being curious. Like you could play the game 10 times and be like, I didn't know this was a thing.
That's pretty freaking cool.
They're good like that.
I like games that do stuff like that.
The older I get, the more I appreciate stuff like that. I don't mind that. Like, yes, I'd like to play the whole thing, but it's cool that the parts we have now, that if I were to replay them, I would find new stuff that I didn't realize was in it if I felt like it. So, like,
that's the kind of stuff I like to freaking hear.
So, like, I can't recommend those, you know, any higher. Like, they're really, really solid indie. Really solid, like, indie title, but it's, like, a high-profile indie title.
freaking welcome Ray unit. Freaking oh man, this is I don't know. I feel like I could try that game. Then you said it's available on like PS4 and like everywhere too, or is it? Like, what is it on?
I don't know if Deltarune Chapter 1 is on PS4. I don't know if Chapter 2 is yet. I'm inclined to think it is because it's on Switch. I haven't looked. But you could play it on Switch for sure. But they're free. Undertale you have to pay for, but like Deltarune right now is free and is like Chapter 1 and 2 would be as long as Undertale. So.
Okay, that's not too long. Freaking hell. Agent K says, and the Boda is depicted in old artworks as white skin, so they're complaining about actually being race swapped. I'm guessing and the Boda is the name of that character I referenced from the God of War like trailer and whatnot at the end. I have no idea who she is, but I mean, it's once again, it's just mythological stuff to me, so I'm just like, And yeah, Aunt May is usually depicted as an old lady for sure. Freaking, especially in the movies and all that. That's pretty. I don't know, man. You just missed the Undertale references if you haven't played it first. I feel Deltarune is an alternate reality to Undertale.
Like you really wouldn't miss anything if you just play Deltarune. They're their own self-contained stories. There's just some of the characters
Deltarune
recognizable.
Deltarune is an anagram for Undertale, though. By the way, too.
That's right.
But I don't know.
Yep.
So, if you rearrange the letters of Undertale, you get Deltarune. I haven't played the games, but I'm sure if the creator went through the trouble of making an anagram for his freaking game, there has to serve some kind of purpose. I like when people that do this stuff with like their games and their movies and things of that nature, their music. I'm like, oh crap, you know what I mean? When I looked at both names like on the same like page, I was like, oh okay, just change the letters around. You know what I mean? So yeah, they definitely have to be connected in some way besides just having the same like developer or whatever.
Okay, Vile is saying they're on the PlayStation Store. Like, I mean, it's technically the demo. This isn't. I guess it's not really a spoiler for me to say this, but like at the end of Chapter 2, you find out there's 7 chapters. So there's still a lot to come. So like by Chapter 7, it will be like the whole game. But yeah, right now it's still kind of technically a demo, but it's free. So.
I've already updated my Amazon wish list to add freaking Kirby, and Bayonetta as well. Those
I'm
are
gonna keep an eye on
definitely
Bayonetta. I gotta play those.
I'm surprised they tossed in a freaking random movie announcement in there too towards like the end though.
Yeah, and they're like, here's Shigeru Miyamoto to tell you about this movie. It's like, okay. And during the speed round, they had like a speed round, as I called it. I mostly tuned out because I'm like Hot Wheels game, some other racing game. But then I noticed they kind of like snuck in SMT5 also, which is there's a fair bit of hype around. I'm kind of surprised they glossed. Well, I'm sort of surprised they glossed over, but not at the same time, considering like the subject matter.
Well, SMT isn't. Well, it's also not a Nintendo exclusive, so maybe that's why as well.
Yeah.
I feel like the stuff they talked about the most was their exclusives outside. I mean, they spoke about Star Wars briefly, in
the Castlevania collection,
the other game. Yeah, and even Castlevania. Well, yeah, Castlevania got a few games on the like Game Boy Advance, DS.
But I guess it was the ones on the Advance collection. Even if it's going to be on PlayStation and stuff, it was, homegrown on Nintendo, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not actually. How would you compare the PS5 showcase to this Nintendo Direct? Since they were like 2 weeks apart, basically.
I'm trying to remember what was even on the PlayStation Direct now. It's totally whistled out of my head. But like
the PS5 showcase was the one that they showed more about. They showed more about God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, right.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
They showed like 10 seconds of like X-Men. I mean, Wolverine. I mean,
right. Guardians of the Galaxy,
and they
which I
also
don't
went
know.
over Guardians of the Galaxy, Grand Theft Auto 5 for like the 5th time.
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo.
And that was the announcement. That was the initial announcement of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. And of course, Uncharted, bringing Uncharted to PS5 and PC.
Was there a Horizon
Gran
Forbidden
Turismo.
West too?
No, they didn't really talk about Horizon Forbidden West in there like that. Gran Turismo 7 as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the announcement for that. And it was something else. I forgot. It was something else I was looking forward to.
Yeah, there's definitely something that I was ready for, but it slips my mind. I didn't think to. Like, it's easy for me to say, like, with the list in front of me being like, these are the games for Nintendo that I'm stoked about. Like, I am like super excited for the Mario Party game, but that's like, I'm hugely biased.
That was like the Borderlands spinoff.
Oh yeah,
Borderlands spinoff.
And there's like that Project Eve game.
That looked like Bayonetta, and now they announced Bayonetta 3. So I'm like, they kind of just be like, "Oh, we're gonna beat you to the punch. We're gonna announce a Bayonetta like game." You know, Rainbow Six Extraction, Forspoken looked pretty good.
Oh yeah. I was pretty interested in that one.
Alan Wake remastered.
Oh yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo. They showed some more, like a trailer.
Yeah.
And Deathloop. They basically, because it was releasing like that week or something, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Amnesia, I don't know where the hell that is still. Kid Amnesia, Tachia, Blood Hunt, that like free to play like battle royale kind of game.
Okay.
It kind of looked cool, and then I found out it was a battle royale free to play, and I was like, oh, so this is Fortnite for 5 right then. But yeah, those were the announcements basically, of course, for the PS5 showcase. How would you compare them? I mean, were you excited from one more than the other after you watched them both?
Well, like, I have such, like I was saying, I have such a bias for Mario Party, and like the Mario Party 2 Horrorland being in this game gets me way more excited than it should. So like, it's kind of unfair, the nostalgia I have for that game. So like, especially with the whole list in front of me. And like, there's a few other things. Like, I'm definitely interested in that Voice of Cards game now that Yoko Taro has. I know he has anything to do with it.
Is Bayonetta 2 only on Nintendo consoles? Yes, unfortunately.
I believe so. Yeah.
It's still only on Wii U and Switch. Now, I played on the Switch, actually. Someone got it for me. Because I liked part 1. And then when I found out part 2 was Wii U, I was kind of like, well. And it came out the same year I got my PS4. It came out like right before I bought my PS4. So I couldn't even play Bayonetta 2 because I didn't have a Wii U.
Right.
You know?
Who did?
I was like, that's funny. So I didn't want to play it until like freaking 4 years later or something.
Yeah.
When I got it on the Switch.
Oh, and the Kirby game looks that looks pretty good.
I'd say I was more excited for the PS5 showcase. And after watching them both, I'm probably still more interested in the games of the PS5 showcase. Slightly, like, if we just take the exclusives, you know what I mean? Not like the platforms, you know, like Knights of the Old Republic, I'm not going to count that.
Right.
You know, just the exclusives, Spider-Man, Wolverine, God of War.
God of War is hype.
You know, for PlayStation, and that other, what the hell, what was the other one? Guardians of the Galaxy isn't exclusive, right?
Probably not.
I don't think it's exclusive. I think that's coming out on Xbox as well. I'm going to actually check. Yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, PC. It's freaking everywhere. Okay. So I'd say I'm still more excited for the PS5 showcase. At least slightly give it the edge. Because for Switch, the exclusives, just like the new stuff. I mean, it was Kirby, which is cool. Metroid Dread, which is freaking great.
Yeah, that's hype for sure.
The Super Mario Party game, which I still have to see.
Right.
And
I'm disproportionately hyped for that, but I'll admit it.
What was the other game? The other exclusive, like, new game, not a remake or something. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say PlayStation kind of takes this for me. I mean, there's also Project Triangle, but that was already like
Right. We already knew that was coming.
Even then, that one is looking good. But yeah, the other Nintendo stuff I wasn't interested in. Splatoon, freaking a new character for this game, a new character for that game.
Yeah, so
and then it was remakes and remasters also. You know,
like some of the stuff that I want to see on like PlayStation just plain wasn't announced because like the more Final Fantasy VII remake you give me, the happier I'll be, and like I know like 16 will come out eventually, so I'm like,
the only thing I missed.
Most of the stuff I'm excited about was like I just know is coming.
The only thing I wanted on the PlayStation 5 showcase that wasn't there really that I kind of would have expected was showing more of Horizon Forbidden West, maybe, or damn, what was it? More Final Fantasy 16, yeah. Like more news about that one would have been nice, because they announced it like the beginning of this year, but they haven't said anything else about it. I feel like
no, it'll come out in 2030 silently.
And then
15 took forever to come out.
Silent release, like 10 years later. Like, what the hell? Okay. Crap, what else? I wanted to see more Wolverine, but I guess they just don't have it to show yet.
Yeah,
it's probably later this year or next year, rather. Probably show like a lot more of it. But yeah, only other thing I would have liked to see is just Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 2 or whatever they're gonna call
like the actual
I would love to see that, Like, show me how that's going to look. Show me if it's going to be PS5 only. I just want some details about it because it's been 2 years now since part 1, right?
It's getting there. It'll be 2 years in April.
Oh, okay. So April will make 2 years.
Yeah, April 10th, I believe it came out.
Okay, then. So it's almost 2 years. So at this point, since it's already announced that it's a multi-episodic kind of thing or whatever, like they should give us something. Like the DLC was months ago. That's cool. They released that, but
sure.
Tell us
give us another full give us something that we can actually sink our teeth into.
Oh, give us one trailer, like for now at least. Cool.
Yeah. So just like here's Midgar.
Still a little pissed that the Yuffie DLC is not on the PS4 version of Final Fantasy. Vile, I have not bought that DLC yet myself. I am waiting for that to go on sale. Like if it's not on sale on Black Friday, I'll buy it. But I'm like, yeah, why is it PS5 only? I have a PS5, but I'm like, they didn't really need to do that. I've never seen a game where, okay, this is for the PS4.
Yeah.
The DLC is for the PS5 though. Like freaking some of the things Sony does, I'm just like, I don't like. And that's one of them. Why would you do that?
I wouldn't even be like if it was possible to get PS5s, I wouldn't be so annoyed. Or if it was like if there was something in the game that made it clear that it had to be on PS5. Instead of that's just I think they just have like some sort of agreement with Sony that like this has to release on PS5 to move consoles. It's like okay, but you're sold out of consoles. So
yeah,
good that did.
If there was some reason besides, we just want to sell you more consoles, but I mean, can you give us anything besides that? Like, don't make it look like it's completely out to sell consoles.
Can't.
Like, they're not even trying to hide it. Like we're just trying to sell you PS5, so you have to get this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, like, if you have the PlayStation Plus version, you have to pay for the PS5 upgrade. Like, that was like a no, Sony, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
That got to a lot of people who really were like, I got it on PlayStation Plus. I'm so glad. And then like, nope. Screw you over.
Yeah.
Now I gotta buy the game anyway, or now I gotta pay for it. But I plan on buying Neptunia and Serenial Conqueror Ninja War when it comes out at the end of next month. Oh yes, it is releasing in the West in October, right? I am looking forward to that game as well. I've played like almost every single mainline like freaking Serenial Conqueror and Hyperdimension Neptunia game pretty much like since I've gotten into the series. I've even went back and played some of the older ones, and I'm glad they're finally releasing a new game and a crossover at that. I've watched the anime, I've watched played the games, all that stuff. Freaking thoroughly enjoy it,
Now that
and freaking hell.
Yeah. Now to have some context for the series, I'm more interested since I hear that
hopefully Final Fantasy 16 will be a complete game.
Yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy 15, that was one of the best fishing games I've played in a long time, I gotta say. There was this annoying RPG minigame I had to play every so often in between the fishing. But it was...
Yeah,
I still enjoyed my time.
Why did they try to throw like a story into like my minigame, you know?
Yeah. I actually did really like the fishing.
Final Fantasy 15 was
like,
freaking,
no
what's that game? What's that movie series? What's that movie franchise called? The one where the guys... Oh, crap. What is it called?
The guy...
Is it called Road Trip? No, not Road Trip.
Does what?
What's the remember that series? There was 3 games. It was 3 of them, and it was like the 4 dudes, and they get into all this dumb, stupid stuff like all the freaking time. I forgot what it's called.
I don't know.
That one dude, Zach Galifianakis, is in it. Let me just...
Oh, The Hangover?
Name. Yes. Final Fantasy 15 was like Hangover, JRPG version. It was just freaking 4 dudes, you know, that are cool with each other or whatever, like they're traveling around like on a freaking road trip, like, and they get into wacky hijinks and do a whole bunch of random side stuff. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying now.
It sometimes seemed like they was hungover too. I'm like, you have to be freaking drunk to be getting into all this random stuff. Like it was all freaking side quests. I remember.
Yeah.
I did like the first, second, third, fourth, or whatever, like chapters, and it went by pretty quick. And I stopped specifically to do every side quest that I could think of. It took me like a week or 2 to do all the side quests. After I finished all the side quests, I said I'm mad leveled. I have everything I can possibly need. And then I ran through the rest of the game in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, the side quest took like 5 times as long.
I really wish that game was fully realized. Like, there's definitely stuff in it that really appealed to me. Like, I find even, despite how much it annoyed me in a lot of ways, that it still had its charm. But, like, I really wish it was not, like, 3 half-finished games just stitched together.
Isn't that because they, like, didn't they, like, start making it and then, like, freaking stopped and worked on something else?
Yeah,
and then they, like, started all over again?
It wasn't even supposed to be a Final Fantasy 15. It was supposed to be Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Yeah, like, it started off a whole different game, and then it turned into, like, another one, and then, like, I'm like, okay, guys, if you're gonna do that and make us wait, like, all this time, then at least, like, hell.
They're like, oh my god, it's been 10 years since we released the Final Fantasy game. We got to turn it in. Oh, this is Final Fantasy 15, yeah.
And here you go, guys. This is what you wait for, right? It's like, what is this? Yeah, you need to think about it. Final Fantasy 13 was 2009 initially, like in Japan. We got it in 2010. And then they put Final Fantasy 13-2. That was 2000 and freaking. We got it in 2012 in the West. And then Final Fantasy 13.
Lightning Returns.
No, Lightning Returns. Final Fantasy 13. The naming thing is weird. I haven't played them. I played a demo of one, and that was it. I don't know. I heard the story is freaking like ridiculous.
I have a really hard time recommending 13. I think I could recommend 13-2. It's a different animal. I have never played the third one.
I played a demo of like Lightning Returns, I think, for like a few minutes. And
sounds like Final Fantasy Majora's Mask, from what I gather.
I was like, the combat system is freaking weird. I don't understand this crap. But then, yeah, like we got that one in like 2014, I think. So it was like a year or 2 2 years or so between each one. And then Final Fantasy 15, we got it in 2016 towards the end of the year. So I'm like, well, what's going on? We're in 2021 now, and it's like we're going to show you like a half trailer of Final Fantasy 16.
Here's the one cinematic of the game that we made so far. We'll pretend like it's in production, but we're too busy focusing on ignoring Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah,
we're too busy pretending we're working on that.
And then the whole fiasco with that, with the like PS5 only. I'm like, okay, so is Final Fantasy 16 PS5 only? Like, they didn't even tell us that, at least, did they?
I don't think so, but it must be. I'd be shocked if it isn't.
I don't know. I'm just so lost. Like, I thought God of War Ragnarok was going to be PS5 only, and it wasn't. And then I thought Horizon Forbidden West was going to be PS5 only, and it wasn't. And then I'm just like, what? But apparently, Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only. I believe they said that, right?
I forget. I wouldn't be surprised though. Miles Morales being PS5.
They keep saying no. Miles Morales was.
Oh, is it really on PS4?
No, wait. Yeah, Miles Morales. No, it had to be. I'm gonna double check for sure.
I could have swore it was PS5.
Yes, PS4 and PS5.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
Yeah, PS4 and PS5. Yeah, that was a disappointing thing too, because I was like, I thought Miles Morales was on PS5 only, but it's not. So I guess Spider-Man 2 though, since it's like the full game and stuff, that'll probably be PS5 only. But
God, I didn't even realize. Okay.
They keep mixing it up. I'm just like, I got a PS5 so I can get exclusives. Almost every single game is also PS4. Yeah. And then, of course, it's going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't run as well. So I'm like, so you're basically going to sell this version to people that can't get a PS5, and you know it's not going to perform as well, but you're going to sell it to them anyway. And then you're probably going to say, oh, well, if you give us some extra money, you can get the PS5 version once you get a PS5. Just give us a few extra dollars.
Just pay full game price and we'll upgrade your other game.
Oh, well, hell. Also, remember that whole thing where it's like Horizon Forbidden West is the last game that they're not going to charge for the PS4 or the PS5 jump. Every game afterwards that comes out on PS4 and PS5, if you buy it on the PS4, and then the PS5 version comes out like 2 months later, it's just like, oh, well, you got to pay us $10 more. Yeah. I'm just like, what?
Whatever with this new attempt at a cash grab, Sony. With microtransactions not working anymore. Just see the writing on the wall.
Basically, it's like when they took Destiny 2 out of... I mean, it's like when they took microtransactions out of Destiny 2. But then they're like...
Planets.
Season passes. Season passes, though. Buy a season pass. You'll be able to unlock more rewards. But, I mean, isn't that a microtransaction? Like, what?
Yes.
They got season passes. I wish Fortnite didn't make season passes like a freaking thing, you know?
No kidding.
Or is it called a season pass or is it? I forgot if they called it something else. I think they call it that because even like League of Legends has like freaking season passes now, and I'm just like, how do you put this into every freaking thing?
Yeah, it's all over the place now.
It used to only be for like free games, but now like even paid games, I feel like are doing it. You know. Kind of crazy. I'd rather just give you the full money upright, $70, $60, whatever plus tax.
One-time payment, and leave me alone with the nickel and diming beyond that.
No, I got
to microtransact me. Give me the game for free.
Yeah, it's like now I gotta be like, oh, subscriptions, microtransactions. Now I gotta budget in like, all right, that's an extra $5 and $20 every month or two into like my already tight budget. And then that's just for this game.
Right.
But I'm like, it's different if it's just this one game that does it. I'm like, when you all copy each other, then it's just like, okay, now I got to factor that in for the 5 games that I freaking play over the course of the month or whatever.
And it's not like you can resell a game that has these season passes. It's not like getting like a physical copy of something. Like it's.
I know it's like you can't. I guess that's like their one of their ways to like circumvent or like attack game reselling. It's just like, you know what? We're going to sell you half of a game on the disc, but, like, to get everything else, DLC.
It's like, what do you mean, peasants? You can't afford $80 for a game? No.
Not even that. It's like you can't afford to pay the extra $20 a month for my game and his,
on top
and
of that,
his,
and
his, and hers.
Right.
It's just like, no. It's like they're all in business together, like, rubbing their hands together, like, yes.
We got him.
They're going to have to do this if we all do it.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't this illegal? Like, aren't there any laws whatsoever that can help us?
Technically, probably, but
it's like, yeah, but I mean, we pay the politicians.
I can't afford the lawyers though, so
it's like they can't afford the lawyers. The politicians are like
games.
The politicians are like, oh well, we agree with them because they helped us get elected, and they have like billions. So sorry guys, but you're poor. Yeah, it's like right. I forgot. Poverty sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a video gamer. I mean, there's more expensive habits than that. You could be
for sure.
More expensive habits than video gaming, but hell, it's getting to be like a freaking coke habit. I'm like,
But I
This
mean,
is getting expensive.
But I mean, at least with the game, once you have it, at least let me back that up. If you have a physical game, at least you have it, and then like you can always go back and play it, or if you want something new, you can like trade up or whatever.
But then you gotta still buy the complete edition. Like Vile says, never purchase on day of release full retail. Wait till the complete gold ultimate edition releases.
Yeah.
You know, it might take like a year.
All of the ultimate editions, yes.
It might take like maybe 3 years for like the super omega completed ultimate fully packaged like gold ribbon stamp on it, but then it's worth it, you know. Then it's like, oh, take my $60. Yeah. This is finally the complete game. I'm like, I'd rather you just delay it another like 3 months than give me like this. It's like you're giving it.
Then drip feed me this crap. It's
like, one drop. I'm good. I need my next hit.
I need to suckle on the TD of, Sony.
It's
DLC.
It's like morphine. It's like, it feels so good, but when can I have my next hit, doctor? We'll give you that very soon. Just let us know when you're feeling, when you no longer feel it, then we'll give it to you. Yeah. You're going to have to wait a while. We don't want to overdose you. It's like, okay. You can't have too much fun.
No.
You can't be satisfied.
No. That's the last thing they want. When you're satisfied, you're not buying stuff.
Yeah, it's like when you're content, you're not purchasing more, you know? Like, screw it.
Got to keep you desperate.
Oh, man. But that's what I said. These freaking shareholders and investors, it's just...
Money ruins everything.
Oh, hell yeah. Big business. Big business brings in competitiveness and competition and whatnot, which does help fuel things to be like... It does fuel things to improve in certain regards. You know what I mean? Because people will pay top dollar for like quality. But on the other hand, I mean, not everyone can afford to even do that. You know?
Right.
I mean, 10% can maybe, and then the other 90% just like, I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I can't really afford your ultimate super like season pass DLC. You know?
Yeah.
I guess they're banking on the children being like, Mom, the new DLC is out. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Mom.
Mom.
The parents have to go out and get second and third jobs to supply or fund their children's gaming addiction.
Shut up, little Jimmy. I'll buy your game.
It's like, I'm working 4 jobs. I'm working 4 jobs just to afford all this DLC for my son. And then the people are just like, oh, well, that's perfectly fine, right? You know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Can't possibly be unreasonably priced or anything. But hopefully one day, if we complain enough on Twitter, maybe things will change.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, who has the time to actually march down to these physical locations and kick up a stink when you can just Twitter from your living room instead?
Basically. Okay. We can't possibly use Google and find out where their headquarters is. No. And it's the middle of a pandemic, so I mean, they're probably happy now. There's probably less people. Like,
well, how do you protest 6 feet apart? That's just, how effective is that?
Yeah, it's like social distance protesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just get in my bubble.
It's like, there's going to be like 10 people because you go into their lobby. Like, too many people. Remember, that's against the law.
Right.
It's cool for safe.
Arrested.
Now they're just going to all go online and do it. And then we're going to block their accounts.
Right.
And they wind up blocking like everyone that's a fan of their actual games. Right. Like, oh crap, that didn't backfire.
Now what do? We didn't think this through.
We just market to the even younger children.
Right. Yes.
As soon as they start school.
The 9-month-old ones.
The newborns.
Yeah.
As soon as they get a tablet in their hands.
Right.
Hey kid, do you want to play Fortnite?
Yeah.
You
only have Grande's in this one. I know you youngins like her.
They're gonna be 6 years old now. We're lowering the 10 and up, and 6 now. Yeah. We got to get them real young, like apparently. Oh man, freaking nuts! Back in my day, we got a cell phone when we were like in middle school or high school, and it couldn't even go on the internet. I mean, damn, I feel old. I had a flip phone, and I was like, "This is amazing! I can like read text messages on my phone. This is freaking a miracle. It'll never improve."
Think when I was in high school, like some people had cell phones.
Oh damn!
But like I didn't get my cell phone till I was in my 20s.
I got myself. I was like 11. It was like a brick. It was one of those like brick phones still.
Yeah,
bro.
like from Miami Vice, like just like the big gray bricks, pretty much.
The Nokia ones, it's like this big and it's like thick as hell. And if you threw it at somebody, it could be a weapon.
Right.
Now I'm like, oh geez.
With radiation, yeah.
Oh gee, oh man. Oh man.
Hey, later, Raiden.
The iPhone came out. The first iPhone came out. I think I was like in high school. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably
freshman or something, maybe. And no one even had iPhone. I didn't even know what the hell a smartphone was till I was like out of high school though. Like I knew they were out, but
like what's that? A BlackBerry?
You didn't just
see
them. You didn't just see them everywhere. Now it's just like if you don't have one, you can't even like get a job.
Now if you don't have a smartphone, it's like, what are you, Amish? Like, why don't you have a phone?
They won't even hire you. Like we need to send you text messages, emails. We need you to be on a webcam. We need you to constantly be in contact with us, like 24/7. Yeah. We're not gonna hire you. And if you go to school, you need to have your phone on you at all times too, because we're gonna text you if you're late. It's like, wait, what?
I remember like when I first heard about texting on phones, I'm like, this is so stupid. Why would anyone ever just text? And then like I got a phone, and I'm like, oh,
it makes sense.
I'm completely addicted now.
I know, right?
I can have multiple conversations with multiple people all day long. I get it now.
I don't know. Hell, now you can multitask even easier. Like,
yeah,
jeez, it's freaking beautiful. I feel like technology. Wait, actually, I forgot. I don't remember if you ever answered. Which one did you prefer, the Nintendo one or the PlayStation?
I mean, like just
I forgot. I said PlayStation slightly.
Yeah. I feel like just like going by direct, just because I'm like so overhyped for Mario Superstars, I have to lean towards Nintendo. But like, just because, like I was saying, stuff like Final Fantasy 16 wasn't on the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah.
Because really, like, yeah, Mario Superstars, I'm like super hyped for. Other than that, well, I mean, I definitely have an eye on Project Triangle, but it's sort of like old hat, as it were, and as is Metroid Dread to a degree. Like we both knew those were coming, but I guess Mario we also knew was coming. Kirby game, like, I'm definitely intrigued in.
The other thing is like the Nintendo ones were like half of them were like even the new stuff was stuff that was already announced. The only game there that wasn't already announced was like Bayonetta 3. We already knew was coming pretty much. We just didn't see anything about it. And then
I had
Kirby,
no idea, but I'll take
Kirby was new. Bayonetta 3, they've mentioned like something. I remember. Like I thought it would be out like freaking hopefully sooner. I don't remember. They said 2022 for that too. Everything is freaking next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still have.
But I mean, we're getting close to like we're 3 months away from 2022, so that's like it's sooner than it sounds.
They have Metroid for next month. They have Super Mario, Super Party Mario.
Yeah, 29th
next month,
October.
Next month. And then they didn't mention anything about Advance Wars 1 and 2, like Commando Edition or whatever the hell it was called. A remake, remember?
Bring that up.
And it's supposed to be out. Was that this month or November? I gotta check. Wars 1+2 reboot camp. It is December 3rd. Okay, December. All right.
But like, I'm probably not going to play Gran Turismo 7, but I'm definitely like I gotta watch someone play it. It might give me. Cause I loved Gran Turismo 2. I played that so much, but then I didn't really play any of the other ones. So like, it might help me get back into it. So like I'm kind of like now I have the PlayStation stuff in front of me. Like I've been interested in that. Like God of War Ragnarok, I definitely have an eye on. Eventually, I'm gonna binge the God of War games. I just have a plan for those, and I just haven't hit it yet.
Wait, you haven't played any yet, or
let me walk that back a bit. I played God of War 1 when I was a teenager, and it was lovely. It was the perfect game for me at that age. Then I played God of War 2. I didn't beat it. I don't know why. But then I didn't have a PS3, so I didn't play the third one, and then I didn't have a PSP, so I didn't play those ones. And then the newest one, I bought it Black Friday, but I haven't played it yet because I have like a specific vision for that. I just want to cosplay as Kratos as it. Paint my face all gray and red and shave my head. But like until I'm ready to put like 2 hours worth of makeup on my face, I'm not going to play
it. The way I even got into the God of War series is kind of like serendipity, like, because I really wasn't even interested in the series at first. Like, I wasn't, and now it's one of my favorites for the PlayStation. It was about to be Christmas. One of my friends had called me, like, and they was with one of their friends, and they was like, oh yeah, they said, like, well, let's get you something for Christmas, like, or basically they were just kind of like, oh, what, like, if you were gonna get a gift, like, what would you like, and I was just like, I don't really know, honestly. I mean, video games, of course. I mean,
right.
Me, and then they wound up coming by my house like shortly afterwards or whatever, like, and they was like, oh yeah, like, I got you this and I got you this, and one of the things was God of War 3, because I think I told him I had I think I told him I had a PS3. And this is probably like not too long after, I guess, part 3. I forgot, but I was like, yeah, I have a PS3, so they got to be PS3 game, and it was God of War 3, and I was just like, like, God of War 3. I was like, I've never even played God of War. Like, I was like, I don't even know what this series is. I was like, but now I got it as a gift. I said, what the hell am I supposed to do? I can't play it out of order. I mean, this is the third game. Like, I don't think that would make really much sense to do. So I said, okay, well, it was a gift, so I do want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not in me to play games out of order unless I absolutely have to.
Sure.
So now I have to go play God of War 1 and 2, and then play 3, so then I can tell them how I like the game. Like, got it. So I was just like, all right, how can I get God of War 1 and 2? I looked up, I did research, looked up the series. I said, God of War 1 and 2, PS2. All right, I don't have a PS2. I said, I have a PS3, I have a Vita. So I was like, oh crap, there's a collection. So I instantly went to GameStop, like, I think the same week, like maybe the next freaking day, and I picked up the God of War like collection thing or whatever that had like 1 and 2 together. Mm-hmm. And I just instantly dove right in because I was like, I want them to know that I played it, so I want to do this quick. I played 1, and I was like, oh, this is freaking nice for a PS2 game, definitely. Part 2, oh man, freaking even better. Okay, cool. And then I even went back to GameStop, and I was like, all right, I have a PS Vita. What game can I was like, do they have PS game? Like, I want to get them all now. And then I was like, oh crap, there's 2 PSP titles. Mm-hmm. I used to have a PSP, but like I sold it or whatever. So I was like, I missed that too. So then I said, oh, they remastered the PSP titles for the Vita and the PS3. I said, okay, boom. And then I bought the PS Vita of the PSP games, and I played those too, and played part 3 on the PS3, like, since it was gifted to me. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is one of my new favorite Sony series, like, all time now. Okay, cool. Like, it was just funny though. Like, I only got into it by freaking basically like,
because like otherwise you would have just never even given them a second look, probably.
Yeah, I never would have played them unless unless I had a friend recommend them to me, like, or something like that. Then I would check them out. But
yeah,
I didn't really know anybody in the God of War. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one recommending it to people if they haven't already played it now. I'm like that person. I'm like, you got a PS3, a PS4, PS5, go play God of War. I highly recommend it. Hell, that was my number one game on my PS4 top 10. My top 10 PS games of all time. That video is still up. Check it out. Yeah. That was on there somewhere on the list. You gotta watch to find the number it was at. Right. But definitely one of the best series. It's just freaking great. It's brutal.
I forget
storytelling was pretty good.
Was introduced to it. I must have read about it in a magazine, and then just picked it up. I know that the store I always went to, they had like a cardboard stand-up of Kratos there, which, as it turned out,
cool.
Some years later, after they closed down, I actually got that stand up. I have it in storage.
Really?
I don't have the room for it here. But yeah, I can't wait till someday
Oh.
I get a place that's where I actually have room to show off some of this stuff. Because for whatever reason, I have 3 cardboard cutout, like cardboard stand-ups. I have a Resident Evil 4 one of like, I guess you didn't really play Resident Evil, but like there's like this big, it's like the El Gigante. It's like this huge, like ogre monster thing. And I have like a stand-up of that.
I've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah, I have that, and
like
I also
that,
have an Enter the Matrix one.
The God of War one, is it? Which Kratos is it? Is it the one from like part
God
one?
of War 1.
Or is it from the PS4 one? Oh, cool. Okay, like his original character. Oh, that's freaking cool. That's freaking classic.
Yeah. Is a good pickup. Because like at the time, like I didn't think I was gonna get it, but they were like, "Which ones do you want?" But like one of the guys working there is like, "Well, I want the God of War one." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll get this one." Then he's like, "Here's the God of War one." I'm like, "Sick."
That's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah.
They gave them away because they were going out of business?
Yeah.
Or something?
I was there the last day they were open. Like I helped them close up shop and stuff. I used to go there and just hang out. Like I used to rent a game every week.
Okay, that's
like,
cool.
I was legitimately their best customer. They showed me on the computer. So, I mean, my brother helped too. He rented a lot of games, but yeah,
that's pretty cool. Actually,
I got those 2 stand-ups. The Resident Evil one I got from a buddy, and I got a few games.
That's also some kind of one.
Yeah, like I got some cool ones. I just don't have I would love to have room to show them off. I don't here.
Oh no, I feel you. I'm the same way with like my stuff that I got. Like freaking, just have nowhere to put it. Just goes in the closet or goes in storage. You know.
I mean, it is what it is. One of these days, I'm kind of hoping I don't die in this apartment, but we'll see what happens.
Did you know that the PSP games were remastered for the PS3 in the Origins Collection and God of War Ascension, which serves as the prequel to the whole series? Yeah, I played Ascension. I played all of them. I played Ascension 2, the prequel.
Ghost of Sparta.
And the PSP games were remastered for the PS3. I definitely played those too. Don't forget, kiddies, watch Capcom not announce a new MMX game next week during the Tokyo Game.
But here's a new character in Mega Man X Dive, though. Get ready.
The Tokyo Game Show is next. Really? Oh.
Keep an eye
what
on
did they announce
that,
at the Tokyo Game Show? I don't think I've ever seen it before.
I've definitely heard of it. I've never made much of a point to pay attention, but you know, for podcast-related purposes, I should definitely check it out.
Oh no, that
on the off chance
they're going to announce like.
I would be ecstatic if we got a new real Mega Man game. But I'm not holding my breath over here.
A new Mega Man X, though, I highly doubt it.
Especially an X. If I got Mega Man 12, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I would like them to start a whole new series of Mega Man. Like all they did in the freaking 2000s and the 90s was make new freaking series for Mega Man. That was just their thing.
Oh yeah, there's like 5 different Mega Man series.
Mega Man Legends, Mega Man Zero, Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man ZX, and Mega Man ZX Advent.
Star Force.
Like that. And I mean Star Force. What is that, like 9? And then of course there's also those other random one-offs like Mega Man Soccer or whatever.
Right.
You know, I think I even played that. Like when I was
Mega Man Soccer. I forget if I own it or not. I can't remember if I sullied my collection with that game. It's fun to screw around with for like an afternoon, but like it's not great.
I think it was on an N64 or something
Super
like that.
Nintendo.
Oh crap, that's freaking going all the way back.
Mega Man Command Mission. It's an RPG. Turn-based RPG.
Wait. Yeah, I think
it's
actually
pretty good. I'm kind of thinking about playing it, but I've been kind of thinking about playing it for years now.
Too many games. Not that that's a problem, you know, but I mean, hell,
right?
I could take some more. But yeah, all the spin-offs too on top of that, it really adds up.
Oh yeah.
But it's good. Some of them were kind of not taken too well, like Network Transmission, I believe, or whatever. But a lot of them were well received.
I liked Network Transmission when I played it as a kid, but when I played it more recently, I did not like it at all.
Basically, I feel like that's how it would be for me. I played it back then when I was like 11 or 12 or whatever, and I never played it again. It was a little bit difficult too, it being a battle network game, but
yeah, it was
2D side scroller version. Like, I don't think they transitioned it, hot pun intended, freaking too well, you know? Like,
I don't understand how I beat it as a kid. I guess I just had more patience for certain things that I just don't anymore.
And sometimes, you know? Agent of Chaos says JRPGs and anime games are popular game reveals in the TGS. I definitely heard of TGS, like the Tokyo Game Show, but
yeah,
I didn't even know that was a September thing or October thing. Tokyo Game Show 2021. It is Thursday, September 30th through Sunday, October 3rd. No in-person attendance. All right.
Okay, so just right around the corner.
Yes, indeed. That is definitely next week. That's Thursday to... well, yeah, they said it. All right.
Well, we'll have to
so I'm guessing...
keep your eyes peeled on that.
Oh, wait, here's the... Square Enix will show up big. It says multiple live streams. The biggest one is 6 a.m. Eastern, October 1st. Both new and previous release information on upcoming Square Enix titles. And then they're going to hold several game-specific live streams. The first will be about Forspoken, in-depth look at Souls like Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and
that name bothers me.
Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, a battle royale based on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I'm curious how, in the name of God, that's going to work. But I'm probably going to have to try it.
I don't understand. That's freaking weird to me.
What is is 77 people going to be playing Final Fantasy VII together? Like, how does that even work? I guess we'll find out soon enough.
I'm seeing this. They have like a teaser trailer. Apparently, it's going to be a battle royale where you. It looks like a third-person shooter, basically, where you use like magic, like cure and fire, and use like guns too, like, and you basically you could summon. What the freaking hell? But it's like I don't know. That's weird.
That doesn't sound like Final Fantasy VII to me, but whatever. Milk that Guernsey.
I'm looking at this. And what I'm reading right now, they're comparing it based PUBG, like, so I'm not interested really at all. But I'm actually sending you a link because that's kind of, let's freaking post a link. Are you to post links in freaking thing? There we go. Post it in freaking chat.
Yeah.
Like, that's odd. I'm not looking forward to that. Apparently, Xbox is getting a Tokyo Game Show showcase as well, 5 a.m. Eastern on September 30th.
Okay.
SNK King of Fighters 15 special program on the 30th. Konami on the 30th. Capcom on the 30th. 505.
Thought they have some pachinko machines to release.
505 Games. I forgot what they made. Was it Astral Chain? They made something I really liked. They made... Crap, what did they... What the hell did they make?
Something pretty big, I thought.
No, it couldn't have been that. List of... Damn, I do not remember, but it was this game I really liked, I believe. I don't freaking remember. That's annoying.
They make Control. Was that 505?
Death Stranding. Oh, Control. Thank you. Yes, Control. That was it.
Okay.
Yes. They they were like basically behind Control. That was the game. Because I remember I just heard of them recently. I never really looked into them before. But when I was playing Control and I was streaming it, I was like, oh, 505 Games. Okay, cool. So 505 Games has a showcase on the 1st. Sega and Atlas have one on the 1st. Koei Tecmo has it on the 2nd. And Arc System Works has one on the 3rd. And it runs from the 30th to the 3rd, it says. So that's next Thursday to next Sunday, apparently.
We'll have a couple of weeks worth of Tokyo Game Show stuff to chat about them.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Freaking, definitely gonna have to check out some. If we can't catch it live, gonna catch it afterwards and back to that. Probably. Yeah. I mean, next week it's still going to be in the process of going on. So the week afterwards, most, you know what I mean? Since it finishes on Sunday, we're not going to wait till the next week and see what was interesting from there. Since this is a Tokyo Game Show, I'm sure it is focused on JRPGs and whatnot. Since they mentioned Capcom, Konami, freaking Square Enix. I'm surprised Xbox is even have
Capcom. Don't tease me by going to the Tokyo Game Show for JRPGs and don't have a Breath of Fire for me. You're gonna say something about Monster Hunter.
They're gonna say Monster. It's gonna be Monster Hunter, and that's what they're gonna do. Monster Hunter DLC. Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Leave. Like, oh, okay. I mean, it has to be something Breath of Fire, Mega Man related. One of the two. Resident Evil.
Lose my mind if there was a new Breath of Fire, like a real Breath of Fire.
I feel like it's gonna be
7 other people, but I would go.
I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's just gonna be Monster Hunter, and then like a teaser at Resident Evil, and then maybe Resident Evil like DLC or Street Fighter.
Yeah,
might be something Street Fighter related. I forgot about that. But or maybe Devil May Cry. Maybe. I mean, that would be nice. Like Devil May Cry 6 or something else.
When did 5 come out? I thought that was like kind of recently.
Devil May Cry 5 was 2019.
It's a few years.
And the special edition of 5 was 2020.
Okay.
It was the beginning of 2019, so it's been over 2 years now, basically, since it came out. So they can give us something. You know what I mean? I'd be glad. What else? What other series? Because a lot of these other ones they haven't done anything with in like years. Ace Attorney, they already released that game a few months ago, the collection or whatever.
Which game? I'm sorry, my my connection went all wonky for a sec.
The Ace Attorney collection or whatever they did.
Yeah,
that was a few months ago. They released that already. So I'm just guessing it's going to be freaking Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, or Monster Hunter. Hell, Dino Crisis they haven't done anything with. Lost Planet they haven't done anything with.
If they would do a remaster, like
Breath of Fire, they haven't done anything with.
Forever. I would.
Onimusha.
Yeah, I forgot about Onimusha.
They did a remaster like 2 years ago, but that was it.
Yeah. I would love for them to do like a full-blown remaster Dino Crisis. That could be terrifying if they did that correctly.
Oh man, I never played Dino. I played like a demo of it or played it for like a minute, but I feel like freaking that crap would terrify me. Like giant dinosaurs.
It'd be so scary.
Like, no, I pass.
I don't know if I could play it, but it'd be terrifying.
Agent of Chaos. I want a Persona 6 already. Yeah. Me too, but I don't think they're going to announce. Well, Sega and Atlas are going to be on the Tokyo Game Show, but Persona 5 Strikers just came out for us, like this year. So I think they're going to give it I think they're going to have some breathing time now because they did P5 Dancing, P5 Royal, and P5 Strikers. So next is probably 6. But remember, they're doing Shin Megami Tensei 5 first. That releases this year, I think. So Persona 6 news
any day now. It's like soon, I think. Not any day, but
Persona 6 news
soon.
It's probably going to be next year because Persona 5 that was a few years ago now. Yeah. Dino Crisis remake will be 2 hours.
Yeah, they'll cut out the entire middle of the game. It'll just be the first room and the last room. Then it's the credits.
People are waiting for RE8 DLC announcements. Yeah, I bet. I'm sure they're going to be like, Resident Evil 8 DLC, take it. Ah, yes. And people are going to be like, take my money, please, Capcom. Resident Evil 8. And I'm just like, I'm sure the people like it. Weren't they announcing, didn't they have like some multiplayer mode they were releasing with Part 8? That was supposed to come out too?
I have no idea.
What the hell was it called?
I kind of I was mostly hands off with 8. I spoiled the story for myself. That was about it. Then I just kind of moved on. I'll play it, but probably like next Halloween. I'm probably gonna play 7 this Halloween, but then next one I'll play 8 most likely.
Resident Evil Reverse. Yeah, I mean, did it come out already?
8?
I don't follow
Resident
that.
Evil 8?
No, the multiplayer mode that they were gonna release like shortly after Part 8 to go along with it. Oh, they ever put it out.
Yeah.
I guess they did, but I freaking haven't played 8, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But it says it was released, or should have been. The FF Origins trailer.
It's a little funny.
It was so bad that it was immediately made into a meme. I have to freaking see what the hell.
Well, like that post that Vile just posted is, I don't even think he's really exaggerating. I hate chaos. Chaos is my enemy. I will defeat chaos. Like it just says chaos a bunch of times in the trailer. Like
wow,
ridiculous amount. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
Then people just make memes about it, and it's just destroy chaos. Chaos.
Yeah, I
kicked my
started the
dog.
trailer, and in 20 seconds they said chaos twice already, and they said it again. Holy crap! Like I'm looking at the subtitles, and I'm just like,
yeah. I watched a video where every time they said chaos, it sped up the video. So that was an interesting watch.
Okay, what the hell is this game? I never saw this trailer. What is this?
I hear people saying it's supposed to be like a Final Fantasy Souls-like game, but I don't even know if that's accurate. I think it's just like a action RPG based on Final Fantasy 1.
He just said chaos like times in this trailer already, and it's only halfway done. Is this supposed to be a person?
It's like the main bad guy.
Oh, okay. So I guess this is a villain. I'm like, I don't know why he's saying his name so much. Like,
yeah.
All right. If it's a Souls like, I probably won't be interested, to be honest.
I don't know if
that's funny.
Like, yeah. I have a feeling it won't turn out quite like that, but I don't know. Neo style. Well, yeah.
The game is supposed to be a Neo style game based Final Fantasy.
I guess. It's basically Souls.
Those already multiplayers are not a part of the game, and they are out already, but not very popular. All right, it's out then. I'm sure it's not very popular because, I mean, people want 7 and they want 8, they want 9, they don't want multiplayer RE. I don't think it's ever done good. They should kind of just stop now, you know. But that's funny. Your name is Agent of Chaos, and we're talking about freaking Chaos right now. Like, you work for Chaos, dude. It's freaking up. That dude from Final Fantasy Origins is looking for you.
Yeah, you better watch it.
He's gonna come after you with his freaking huge sword. If it's like Neo, then I mean, I don't know. I tried a Neo demo and I was just like, oh, I played it for 10 minutes and I was just like, oh no, I'm good. I keep getting killed for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to get that frustrated. But damn. Yeah, we got off topic like 50 freaking times probably, guys. But
and then got like totally sidetracked at the end there. We probably should wrap this up.
That was completely random as hell, I know, but that was the Nintendo Direct, even though it was somewhat indirect at times.
Yeah, we weren't the most direct with the Nintendo Direct.
Oh man,
touched on all the games though, at least to some degree. So mission accomplished there.
Yes, indeed. Had to compare it to the PS5 one because it was freaking 2 weeks ago. I feel like we damn near planned that.
Didn't even occur to me to do that, or I would have been a little more prepared for that. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, the PS5 showcase was. I'm trying to find the exact date because I feel like it was literally 2 weeks to the day almost.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, September 9th. That was Thursday. September 23rd. That was a Thursday. Wow, they really did it exactly 2 weeks. I feel like Microsoft should have done something then if I don't follow them anymore, but they should have tossed something in there too, like a Microsoft Direct or Xbox Direct showcase, some kind of.
I'm surprised they don't.
Because now the Tokyo Game Show is apparently next week, and I'm like, well, where are you, Microsoft?
Yeah, surely you got something scheming.
Oh, they have Windows 11 coming out next month. Maybe that's their. That's the.
Can't wait. Can't wait to have that also crash my computer. I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to Windows 11. I hope it. They said it's going to make it faster and more secure. I'm just like,
make it better than Windows 10, please.
I don't dislike Windows 10. I like Windows 10. It works better than like Vista. I feel like. Or
I'm just sour because my computer crashed, so I'm blaming Windows.
Oh yeah, 10. Crap. Yeah, that just happened, huh?
Yeah, like that's the only reason I'm like, you know what? I don't even think it's Windows 10's fault, but like I'm gonna blame it anyway. Because I think what happened was I installed I think it's Intel's fault because because they're like, here's this graphics display driver, you must download and reboot your computer, and then like 2 days later my computer crashed. So I think that's actually the culprit. We're back up and running now. So
I'm actually looking to see if Xbox has a freaking showcase, and I'm just like,
aren't they doing something for Tokyo Direct or whatever it was called? I thought I heard.
Yeah, they're gonna be on there, but
it's probably all
I mean, I thought they would do their own.
Me too.
Maybe
they just have like no. Well, they bought Bethesda. Like they should have some exclusives coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
why the hell would you buy Bethesda for then?
Xbox announces Gamescom 2021 showcase. I don't even know what Gamescom is.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Ooh, what is Gamescom? Or when is it, rather? Gamescom. The 25th to the 27th. So it was last month?
Not tomorrow, the next day. It was August.
Yeah, it says August. Yeah, August 25th, 27th.
Totally.
All right, then.
Good enough.
Well, if it was Xbox, then that's probably why. There's too many conferences and whatnot. Like, I can't keep track of them all. No. I know about freaking Game Awards. I heard of the Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have their own individual ones, but all the other ones, I'm just like, you guys have way too many freaking things.
Yeah.
Oh, they announced Halo Infinite. Freaking Saints Row. Freaking no exclusives, it seems like. Yeah, of course. Freaking Halo. Only thing they have is Halo is exclusive now, it feels like.
Yeah.
Forza. Is that Xbox exclusive?
I think so, actually.
That's their thing to Gran Turismo and Mario Kart. That's their competitor.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. Oh, Mario Kart's like, yeah.
Mario Kart is freaking the competition to Gran Turismo.
Yeah. I suppose it is.
That's funny.
It's never thought about it like that before, but you're right.
If you just take it overall, like racing games, without like narrowing it down by like kart or like racing simulators or whatever.
Yeah.
Just overall racing games, like as their competition. Mario Kart. You know,
Mario Kart's good. It's just like it's funny to compare it next to like these hyper realistic racing games.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just funny. Like imagine Mario Kart versus Gran Turismo versus Forza. Who wins? Yeah. And yeah, I think Forza is exclusive. I think I read that before, so I never freaking played it. But it says Xbox. Yep, Xbox, Windows, Xbox Game Studios. Okay. So yeah, that's it for the Nintendo Direct indirect conversation.
Yeah.
Freaking comparing it to like the PS5 showcase a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that was a rundown on Xbox announcements. Halo Infinite. And that's it.
Oh, there wasn't even a Forza.
And Forza. Forza something 5. I don't even know which one.
They're 2 things,
yeah, they're like these are 2 exclusive guys. And then of course they have like everything else. Windows 11 or Xbox Game Pass. I'm like, it's Xbox Cloud. I'm like, everything except like exclusives.
Yeah. But
I don't hate Xbox though. I love Xbox 360.
Oh, 360 was a great system.
360 was freaking top class, top tier, freaking amazing. Everything else outside of that, I was kind of like,
I was kind of meh outside of that. Yeah. But yeah, 360, they really kind of hit the sweet spot.
If there's anything interesting, announcements or a lot at TGS, maybe that could be your topic for next week. Well, it's going to be still going on next week because it's next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's still going to be going on by next Friday.
Like I'm sure some stuff happening on like Thursday. If there's some real like blockbuster announcements, we'll talk about it. But otherwise, we'll probably just
if there's some crazy stuff on Thursday or Friday morning or whatever, then probably going to bring it up. Yeah, but otherwise, that'll wait until the Friday after next. That's the 8th. That's when Metroid Dread releases.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to get it day one as much as I'm looking forward to it because I have multiple other freaking games I have to get through still. Like, it's not, it's too many damn games. But, so what do you have coming up next, Arv?
What do I have coming up next? I'm kind of, my next big thing I'm going to be tackling will be Final Fantasy 14. But, like, I've been kind of, my schedule, like, I just simply can't stay up and stream late for the next, like, I guess it's just the next week now, but, like, I've been doing streams of Mega Man games with a Guitar Hero controller. So, like, Sunday I plan on doing that, and then just, like, the rest of the week just working away on those. But then eventually because I put up a community poll, and Final Fantasy 14 was the winner, so I am going to play that. And then you'll never see me again. I'll become a Final Fantasy 14 streamer, and that's just going to be my life.
Get sucked into the MMO that is Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And it's daily new DLC expansions for $50. I don't even know how much they cost, but
you can play it for free up until level 60, I think.
I keep hearing about new expansions.
That's as far as I will attempt to play it, but if I get hooked, I'll buy a bunch of the DLC and get into that. But at the very least, I'll get up to level 60, which will be plenty of content. And that's what I'm up to. That's what I'll be up to.
All right,
what you got going on?
You're starting Final Fantasy 14 next week, right? You said?
Probably next week or the week after. I'm probably going to try to play through all the mainline Mega Man games first.
Oh, and then, okay.
Then dive into 14.
For me, I've been I finished. Since I finished, I got the Platinum Trophy on Scarlet Nexus like a week ago. I went back to streaming Mass Effect 3 for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition just to finish up with this trilogy since I was streaming all like 1 and 2 like a few months ago, back when it released. So Mass Effect 3, honestly, I'm going to probably finish it in the next few days. I'm going to finish it like just 1 or 2 more days of streaming it. Honestly, I'm at damn near the finale of it now. I'm not going for like 100% or whatever. So it's just as quickly as I could basically wrap up the last 3 or 4 missions, and see that horrible ending that no one likes, of course.
Right. The only thing I know about Mass Effect
is that no one likes the ending. It's like the running
of
gag
3 in particular.
For 3, 1 and 2
3,
kept
I
on.
should say
1 and 2 was like sequel bait, so it's like a sequel, but 3 is like But yeah, after that, I'm going to be streaming freaking I'm not sure yet. I have maybe Nier Replicant because I bought that game a while ago on sale I still have not played it, but people keep telling it's good and the remaster basically just made it better. I mean, did you play the remastered version or just the original?
I played both.
Oh, really? How was the remaster? Like the remaster was definitely like improvement.
Yes, I played the remaster first, then went back and played the other one. You're good with either one, honestly. But it's just like the PS3 one, the fighting is a lot more like rudimentary. I find the battles are a lot more crisp and fluid in the remaster.
I might stream that next. I think that'll be pretty cool since I've never played it I never played Nier. I've only played Drakengard like 1 and freaking 2 or something like that.
I'm curious what you're gonna think of them. Because, like, it's weird, because I had just played through Nier Automata, which, me saying this is not going to make sense, but I'm going to say it anyways, was, like, I would say it's my modern favorite game. At least that experience, but, like, after having played through Nier Automata again, like, the more I think about it, I think I like Nier Replicant more than Nier Automata, but that first playthrough of Automata does not compare to my first playthrough with Replicant. Like that first playthrough of Automata, I still hold it like a super high regard. Like it's very fun, but like I think I was just kind of accustomed to what Nier was bringing into the table when I played Replicant. So like it didn't impact me the same way. But then I played Automata again. I'm like thinking I think I actually like Replicant more now after having played them both again. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna find out. Like, I'll probably stream Nier Replicant and then freaking come back and see how I like it, like, and mention it. But like, also, I started playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Just like this week, I just started playing it actually like a few days ago. I'm still towards the beginning of the game or so.
I need to play that too. Oh my god, there's so many games.
Yeah. Lost Judgment, which is the sequel to Judgment, which is a spin-off of freaking the Yakuza series. Lost Judgment just released technically today. So once I finish Yakuza Like a Dragon or whatever, Yakuza 7, whatever they want to call it,
right?
I'm going to get Lost Judgment and then jump right into that one because it's, nice. I mean, basically more Yakuza. It's a spinoff, but it takes place in the same place, similar style and everything like that. So I'm going to look forward to that as well. As far as like new games go, that's been looking forward to that since I played the first Judgment back like 2 years ago or something like that. I feel like now it was pretty freaking good. But yeah. And then freaking other games I have to get to still that have just been in the backlog and whatnot.
But I wish I had more time. I feel like somehow feel like I'm falling behind. There's still so much I want to, but I just do not. There's not enough hours in the day for me right now. I'm just tied up with, my day to day.
Well, that means one of two things: either far too busy, or it's been a video gaming year that's been pretty good with releases.
For me, it's kind of a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, yes.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, same for me. It's a little bit of both, kind of busy and also just like there's a pretty good releases that I actually want. I'm not like, oh crap, let me find something to buy. I don't know which one to get.
Right.
It's kind of like, oh, I like this and I like that and I like this and I really like this. All right, cool. Let me get them all.
I'm pretty sure they could not release another new video game for 5 years and I'd still be like, oh well, I still have this game in my collection I need to play and I won't play this again. Just never-ending cycle. I mean, there's worse problems you could have. So,
true indeed. Freaking man, I don't know about 5 years, but I could not have any like new releases for like probably a few months, and then like I'll be caught up at the very least. Well,
like I evolved. Like even if I were just to play Yakuza games, I'd be months. Like getting caught up with just Yakuza. That's just off the top of my head, and then like I could play Mass Effect, and
that's true. You play through those series, that'll take you. Those series alone would be like, especially if you try to 100% them, that'd be like a few hundred hours just to play them like all.
Yeah.
Like So yeah, I feel you on that. Especially since I like to play series back to back. Like I played 3, 4, and 5, and 6 of Yakuza over the course of like 2 or 3 months or something like that. Just pretty much back to back for the most part.
I try to do that when I can, but sometimes I'll get burnt out on a series and it's like, okay, enough.
No, yeah, definitely. But yeah, freaking as always, guys.
Yeah.
Serenial Podcast, episode 21.
Yep.
Indirect Nintendo Directs.
That's right.
Freaking every Friday night. Come and join, usually around 8 Eastern Standard Time.
Yep,
somewhere between 8 and 9 we start. Depends on, life happens. We get busy. We have lives. You know what it is. And you know where to catch us on this channel. And of course, you can follow Harv everywhere and subscribe on freaking YouTube. Follow him on TikTok.
Yeah.
Twitter, everywhere.
That's right. My TikTok's actually been I've a few videos over there that have just been kind of popping off. It's stuff I have on YouTube. You don't even need to go over there to watch the videos that I have on the YouTube, but if you want to support me on TikTok, I'm over there. So if I get enough, if you get 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can live stream over there, and I'm thinking about trying some live streams there if I can get to it. So something to bear in mind on my end.
Hell yeah.
Enigma, you're all over the place too. Enigmatic. I can never say your name, and it drives me insane. Enigmatic Entertainment.
I'm gonna wind up having to do a freaking name change at this point.
I'm gonna get you so self-conscious about your name.
I know. I'll be like, name change. I'm back, guys. 2 syllables. No. Nah, freaking Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, freaking everywhere, and nowhere at the same time. Nah, I'm just kidding. Follow every freaking where if you want to support, but mainly on freaking YouTube. And if you want to catch me live, and it's on Twitch. And as always, guys, we are freaking out. Catch us every Friday.